football night in Philadelphia. Eagles back at it tonight after we had to suffer through a weekend of football without the Eagles. I hate that happens. But tonight, the big game at Lincoln Financial Field. I am Mike Missanelli. This is the Mike Missanelli Show. The gang is all here. Bill Colarulo, Ray producing. And so we'll start with this. And then obviously I got to mention the Phillies. But tonight, an interesting little twist to tonight's game where no A.J. Brown. And subsequently, the line on this game has gone down a point to 5.5. When you get to the number 5, it's always weird. So I still think the Eagles are going to win this game by a touchdown or more. I don't really have any worries about it. If you look at the game, you can boil it down to a couple components here. The Eagles last week got gashed with the rush. They gave up 150 yards rushing. Bijan Robinson is no joke for the Falcons. Cousins is a play-action guy, so if they get that running game going, maybe Cousins can hurt them there. And then there's always the notion of whether they will blitz Jalen Hurts, the Falcons' defense. And they got Matthew Judon, who's been wreaking havoc on the league for a while, and Caden Ellis as an inside linebacker who's getting pressure on the quarterback. You go around and you go, okay, Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football, he's 3-10 with 12 interceptions. I don't know what happens to the guy, but now he's a 3-10 guy coming off an Achilles tendon. So I don't know. The play action is important. Can the Eagles stop that? Will the Falcons get a rush on the quarterback? Can the Eagles' run defense show up today? Bill, how you feeling about tonight?
I'm feeling good as far as I think the Philadelphia Eagles will pull out the victory. I don't know if it's going to be as easy as some people think it's going to be, but there's a lot of unknowns. I mean, we saw yesterday watching week 2, you just don't know what teams are through the first week of football. And you look at the Atlanta Falcons, who knows what this team is, because that offense looked inept last week. Even with all these weapons that they have, they added Cousins, they added Darnell Mooney, they still have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. They couldn't do anything last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And to your point of Kirk Cousins being a play-action quarterback, he has been in the past. But what we saw last week was 96% of the time they had him lined up in the shotgun or in pistol formation because he doesn't trust that Achilles to get out from under center to be able to work that play-action game. If that happens again, that is a huge advantage for the Eagles linebackers, because where have the Eagles struggled? Play-action passes over the middle, exploiting your linebackers in coverage. We'll see if Cousins can get back to that tonight.
And we'll see if the Eagles can, if the offense will run smoothly without a key component. Now, I guess this puts the Penn State kid in the crosshairs here, where he's going to have to play outside, or maybe they go with Johnny. Well, I mean, I don't know. How do you think they handled this tonight?
Well, you got to differentiate when you say the Penn State kid now, because there's 2 Penn State kids on that offense.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about the wide receiver.
You're talking about Jahan Dotson.
I'm talking about Jahan Dotson. He has to move into maybe an outside spot.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be what they'll do, is with A.J. Brown being unable to go, Dotson will probably be your outside receiver. Do they call Paris Campbell up from the practice squad? Because you remember with the new rules, you're able to call up 2 practice squad players. Last week, they called up Gates to be a backup center, and they called up E.J. Jenkins to be the 3rd tight end. I think you're going to have to call up Paris Campbell in this game, because Johnny Wilson, the 6th-round rookie who's a big guy who played a lot last week, surprisingly, he's also questionable with a hamstring injury. So Britton Covey, he's not an outside guy. I think you'll see Paris Campbell brought up. I think you'll see Jahan Dotson get a lot more attention. But this is going to have to be Devontae Smith. It's not going to be easy. He's going up against A.J. Terrell. I was hopeful to see A.J. Brown take on Terrell, and that would have freed up Devontae Smith to go up against the weaker corner, Mike Hughes. But now Devontae's going to have to ball out. We hear Nick Sirianni say it all the time. The passing offense for the Eagles runs through 3 players: A.J., Devontae, Dallas Goedert. Devontae and Dallas got to step up tonight.
All right, so I want you to get Eagle fans to tell me what your feel is about this game tonight. I think that most people aren't that worried about this game, even though A.J. Brown's not going to be out, and maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. Can the Falcons come in here and beat the Eagles on Monday Night Football? I sincerely doubt it. I really do. I'm trying to give them the biggest benefit of the doubt ever. But I just don't think Kirk Cousins is the type of quarterback that's going to come in here on a Monday night and beat the Eagles. I just can't see it. So whether they cover, you want to pass the game, you don't want to bet it. That's fine. 5.5 is weird line, so I kind of stay away from lines like that. But I feel pretty comfortable the Eagles will win this game tonight, and by 7 or more. All right, let's move into the other big story, which is the Philadelphia Phillies. Now all of a sudden this Brewer series is the Phillies' magic number for the number 1 seed has been reduced to a very manageable level. They win 2 out of 3 from the Mets. They win them in exciting fashion, both these games. They kind of buried the Mets last night. So tonight is Ranger Suarez, and again, this is another tester against Aaron Savali, who the Milwaukee Brewers required at the trade deadline, who I assume Bill would have wanted to acquire because he's really lighting it up. He's 6-8 with a 4.57 ERA for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, he'd be better than whatever our fifth starter was.
Well, the Phillies just can't get anything going with a fifth starter, and it's just survival to the finish line because they won't need a fifth starter. And everybody, I have to laugh because everybody now we've reduced the expectations so far on Taijuan Walker that he throws 3 innings of decent baseball, and we're all excited. Oh my, look at Taijuan! He got through 3 innings,
and they end up winning that game because of Taijuan Walker.
Yeah. I get it. But see, let me make a bigger point here, because this is the point I'm trying to make with Rob Thompson, that a lot of people don't take enough inventory. And you even mock me for this. Well, Rob Thompson, this is what he does. Anybody in that clubhouse who puts on a uniform, he shows respect for. And you know what that does? It makes the players like Cal freaking Stevenson and Weston Wilson and Cody Clemens and whoever the hell else they throw in there who has contributed to wins, it makes them feel like they're a major leaguer. And this is the thing that we constantly discount. Rob Thompson has respect for a major leaguer because, you know why? Because he wasn't one. Because he knows how hard it is. So he knows that these fringe guys, if you reiterate the fact that they're fringe guys, you'll get 0 out of them. If you actually respect them and include them into the mix, you're going to get some payoffs. And that's exactly what he's gotten out of these guys, and you can't sit here and deny it.
Okay, listen. And Rob Thompson makes a lot of good moves. I'll give him credit when he deserves it. Cal Stevenson's in the game because they have no other options, man. This is injury-related.
It doesn't matter. He is saying to these guys, guess what? I'm going to count on you. I'm going to count on you.
He has to count on him.
But he didn't have to count on him a couple games ago when he could have pinch hit for him. The point is he allows these guys to feel like they're part of a team. If you don't feel like you're part of a team, you go up there with a hangdog and you go, they don't think I'm any good. But if you believe in them and go, you know what, you're in the clubhouse. We respect you. Let's go. And we're going to put you in here. And this is what you constantly miss with this guy.
Listen, I'm all for it September 15th when you have this big of a lead in the NL East. When I'm not going to be all for it is like what you saw last year when he lets Rojas bat with the bases loaded in a game.
Let's get past that now.
Well, what I'm saying is...
You're missing... You always gloss over my point. You can't sit there and just eat it. You can't... It's impossible for you to sit there and just eat it. This guy, Cal Stevenson, can't play dead. But Rob Thompson made him think that man, I'm with a good team. He believes in me. He's going to send me out there. He's not going to even jack me out for defensive purposes. And look at the catch I make for him. You know what I'm saying? He makes guys feel like they're part of a team.
And I'll give them all the credit in the world. They're a very good baseball team. I just hope that this patience that you love doesn't turn out to be the end of them come October.
The patient's not going to have anything to do with October. I'm talking about now getting to the finish line. It doesn't matter a hill of beans where Cal Stevenson in the playoffs. That's not going to even matter.
He's probably not making a postseason roster.
No, but it's right now getting to the finish line where you've been able to milk big moments out of guys who don't probably belong in the big leagues because you believed in them.
I don't want to sound like a topper hater. I'm not. I think he's a good manager. I think you're giving him too much credit.
I'm not giving him too much credit.
You're giving him too much credit.
How?
Because Cal Stevenson shows up in a big way when you have no other options on your team. You're going to give him the credit for that?
But what matters is that when a guy puts a uniform on in that clubhouse, he becomes part of Rob Thompson's band. And there are a lot of managers who go, that guy can't play. I can't play him. I got to do 17 other things so I can avoid playing this guy. But he doesn't do that.
You had the whole team injured, man. You had to play Carl Stevenson.
I give up.
You had to play him. I could have made that decision.
I really give up. You don't have to play him. You can play Marshall Rojas consistently. You don't have to stick him in the outfield at all.
That's because Marsh can't hit left.
Oh, God, here he goes. You always got something. 610-632-0975. That's how you get into the Mike Missanelli Show. Big show today, and I want to hear from you about tonight, Eagle fans. Back after this.
Now.
Big day. We got a Fanatic Cash giveaway coming up today. 11 o'clock, you got to be listening. You get a chance to win $1,000. And let me tell you about the deal of the week, which we used to do a lot when I was here, and we continue to do so now. Fanatic deal of the week this week, Bill, is to meet Rob Thompson and give him accolades. No, the Fanatic deal of the week is to get 2 adult combo tickets to the Bates Motel.
Norman?
For the price of 1. Ooh, scary. 2 tickets for $52. Prepare for a Halloween thrills at the Bates Motel. It's one of the frightening, haunting attractions in the country. It's located in Glen Mills, PA. You ever been out there at Bates Motel?
I haven't, but I'm going this year.
Are you?
I'm going to get a ticket. I'm going to take advantage of this deal of the week.
For you. Get this exclusive offer while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/deals. That's a pretty good deal. Take the kiddies out there, get them scared out of their wits, have them not sleep that night.
My son does love scary things.
Really?
He's only 5. I don't know if he's too young for Bates, probably. You're not a horror movie guy, but you got to admit, Psycho was a good movie.
Oh, yeah, classic. Yeah, Psycho's classic. But Psycho was scary in that mentally.
Yes.
You know, like Hitchcock knew how to do that thing.
So you like
the scariest movie I've ever seen was Alien.
That's a good movie. I wouldn't say it's the scariest.
Oh, freaked me out, man. That little thing coming out of the belly. You kidding me?
Yeah, that was pretty freaky.
And then it scurries away, and it grows into this grotesque, slobbering tooth thing. Come on.
See, I find movies scarier when they're more realistic. Like Psycho, that could happen. Alien, I guess, technically could happen. We don't know. Right? But I like more of those psychological thrillers.
Yeah, I get that. I just, I don't understand the notion to be scared.
Yeah, you're not into that.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the emotion.
I've loved horror movies.
I don't know
since
what that
little.
does to people to be scared. I'd rather be in control.
Yeah.
That's not me. That doesn't mean I'm a control freak.
No, you
This
are.
means I like, for instance, I like to be, I couldn't jump out of an airplane, but I could drive a NASCAR going 170 miles an hour.
Because you're in control of it.
Yeah, because I'm on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could see that, but I like being scared. I don't know why. I've always liked horror movies.
Why is that? What does that do for you or your emotions? I'm curious, and now I want to learn.
I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist, but what I'll tell you is I enjoy sitting there watching a movie waiting to be scared. I don't know what it is.
How about you, Ray?
Nope.
No?
I'd rather laugh. No need to be scared.
I like a good comedy, too.
Yeah, no, I just can't do it. I think it might be the control thing. Even though I know I can't do the NASCAR, because I don't think I'd really feel in control at 170 miles per hour.
Yeah. Like
At that
The
point, I think the
Exorcist.
car's
Did The
driving me.
Exorcist, did you see that? Did that scare you?
That's one of the scariest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
When she gets possessed, that's pretty freaky. Man.
Psychologically scary.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
you think maybe it's possible that possession could occur, and it was based on a true story.
How about Jaws? Did that scare you? Dun, 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 dun.
Jaws didn't scare me as much, but I love it. Classic movie. One of the best. I think Jaws is one of the best movies of all time. Not a fan?
Yeah.
It's a classic, man. I got to figure out your taste.
That was not at all an endorsement of Jaws.
No, it wasn't. He gave a.
How about the Jodie Foster movie with Hannibal?
Oh yeah, Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. Scary. You liked it? Not bad. It's a solid psychological thriller.
Yeah, another psychological thriller, not
Yeah.
necessarily jumping out of my chair.
All right. So again, my point with these little nuances that you see with the Phillies. I don't think we nearly give the guy enough credit for what he tries to do with fringe players. He makes fringe players feel important. It's a really hard thing to do. A lot of managers will big-time fringe players. They won't give him the time of day. This guy, because of his background, because he never made it into the major leagues, has a different perspective for guys.
Well, look, when they fired Girardi 2 years ago, he was the perfect guy to take over. He was the perfect guy to take over for that clubhouse, and I want to give him credit. I do. I just think you're giving him too much credit for these youngers.
Two big hits. Who had that on their bingo card? 2 big monster hits and a game-saving catch. Come on, man.
You're giving all the credit to Topper for that. I'm giving it to Cal Stevenson.
Because I'm giving that Topper the credit because this is a 29-year-old journeyman who deep in his heart says, I don't know if I can play or not. And here's a manager who goes, you can play. If you're in this clubhouse, you can play. We respect it. We're going to keep sending you out there. You know what that does for a guy who's a fringe player? What separates good players from fringe players is confidence in their ability. This guy, he injects confidence in guys who don't have confidence.
Okay. But then, on the same note, he'll show Brandon Marsh he has no confidence in him to hit left-handers. He'll show Bryson Stott he's got no confidence in left-handers.
Because that's tough love for a guy like Brandon Marsh. Because Brandon Marsh, you got talent. So this is the way I'm going to handle you. That maybe I'll get you a little ticked off or whatever. The other guys he has to include. Let's go to M in Northeast Philly. What's up, M?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
What are you doing?
Well, Bill, I got one thing to say to you. That 6 o'clock show that you started is pure genius. I go out every night, and I'm watering the plants. I'm taking care of that. So I just wanted to say that to you because I think your high school coach is right. You're a football meathead. You don't know anything about baseball, and you ought to know better because you've been in a locker room when the coach comes over, goes in front of a microphone and says, he's a professional player. He's a professional hitter. He makes them feel like they're part of the club, and when they come up, they have more confidence to do what they're supposed to be doing. So you have to give them all the credit in the world. Because if those guys went out and didn't do it, you'd be like, oh, well, why didn't we play Marsh? Oh, why didn't we play Rojas? So, Bill, you can't have it both ways.
Well, Em, I appreciate you starting with a nice compliment and then hitting me over the head, calling me a meathead. Listen, I'm giving Thompson credit. I'm just not giving him all of the credit, and I still need to see him do it in the postseason.
Here's the thing. He misses. You're right, Em. Bill misses the nuances.
Right.
He misses the nuances because he doesn't understand, like a baseball fringe player who's been trying to make it in the major leagues. How many years has Cal Stevenson tried to make it in the big leagues? 9?
And how many years have we had September call-ups that never even saw the other side of the lines to get out there? Exactly. Or when they did, they did absolutely completely nothing.
And I think he fosters that environment in the clubhouse, too, because you got guys like Harper and Castellanos going up to you saying, dude, you're a player. You're a good player. Well, you know, you're welcome here. Like that's the whole climate that Thompson. And I don't want to get crazy like he's Casey Stengel for crying out loud. You know,
no, you're getting there already.
I'm just saying that. Like I watch guys like Cal Stevenson, Cody Clemens, and Weston Wilson get big hits, and I go, that's for one reason. It's one reason. It's that guy saying you're a big leaguer.
Well, guys, great show. Keep it up, and as always tonight, go Birds.
All right, there it is. Go Birds. Eagle fans are a little timid right now. I don't know what that's about. Yeah. I don't know what that's about. What is it about?
I don't know, Mike, but I said it yesterday. I had to host that show down at Corpalese. I said, we've been waiting all summer for this season to start. It's finally here, and it doesn't feel like the Eagles fans are all in yet.
We need more. We need to get some games on their belt. Like tonight, they beat the Packers, and it's been a long time since they've played, right? So it's like, okay, now finally we got to wait till Monday. And so I don't know if people are plugged into the result yet. Or they think, you know what, this is not that big of a deal. They're playing Atlanta at home. We know what's going to happen. They're going to handle Atlanta at home. Kirk Cousins isn't going to come here and beat them on Monday night, right?
Look, you got to be careful in week 2 because look at what happened yesterday. Did anyone expect the Ravens to lose to the Raiders? Did anyone expect the Cowboys to lose to the Saints? We did.
Yeah, well,
we were saying it.
We did. And around the NFL is coming up at 12:30. We'll also have Tim McManus to analyze tonight's game coming up at 11:30. So here's how you get in, 610-622-0975. You can also use that number for the text line. It is the Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this. Missanelli show, I have to laugh. I don't mean to laugh, but I have to laugh at the people that were I can't wait. Wait, how come Colby Allen's not back up? Colby Allen, he's all right. Come on, man. He throws crap.
We can't get started on this fifth starter.
They got to get another starter because they play the three against Milwaukee starting tonight. Go Suarez, Wheeler, Nola. They don't have a starter listed for Thursday for a reason because they don't want to just pencil Allard in there.
Anyway, they go back to Taiwan?
I don't know. They have no starter for Thursday starting of a 4-game series against the Mets. The next 10 are pretty interesting. 3 at Milwaukee, 3 at the Mets, and then 3 against the Cubs.
4 at the Mets.
4 at the Mets, excuse me. 3, 4, and 3 at the Cubs home. It'll be interesting to see. They don't have a starter listed for that slot yet.
No. And I know it's not going to matter come October. I still keep going back to they couldn't find anybody, Mike.
Yeah, they could have found Aaron Savali. We'll see how your boy does tonight.
They couldn't find anybody.
Cy Young's pitching tonight against the Phillies. You got him at a trade deadline.
Anybody watching the Phillies tonight, you think?
It's a tough watch. Tough watch. Let me ask you a question. Did you watch football over the Emmys last night?
Of course.
You did?
Yes.
Did you switch to the Emmys?
I never tuned in once.
Not once?
I don't even know what happened at the Emmys.
I love the Emmys, man. I love those award shows.
Of course you do. Ray, does that surprise you that Mike's an award show guy?
No.
Why? What's the problem with award shows?
Nothing.
I like the way the starlets dress.
That's exactly why I figured you'd like
I like to judge them. No, but I've seen a lot of these TV shows, right? One show I haven't had because I don't have Hulu is the show that I probably should be watching most of all. The Bear won a lot of awards last night.
Yeah, that's the kid from Shameless, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that either. What was the show that won? A lot of the actors won, the Asian show.
Shogun.
I've never seen it. What is that about?
It's about a Shogun.
That's it? That's what it's about?
It's a Japanese thing. It's in Japanese. It's subtitled.
People were raving about it on
it's
Twitter.
supposed to be really good. It won the Outstanding Drama Series. But I'm not into that, that theme of, the Shoguns and the samurais. It's not my thing. So I don't really have any interest in that. Outstanding Comedy Series. Have you seen, all right, we'll get to the funds in a second. I'm just messing here. How many of the Outstanding Comedies have you seen of the nominated? Abbott Elementary?
I have not.
The Bear?
I have not.
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Of course, yeah.
Hacks?
No, what's that on?
Hacks is on HBO, I believe.
Never heard of it.
No, it's about Jean Smart plays an aging comic, and she's got this little assistant.
Oh, I've seen this advertised. I have not watched it.
Yeah, Only Murders in the Building.
No,
with Martin Short and Steve Martin and Selena Gomez.
No, haven't seen that either.
Palm Royale.
Nope.
Reservation Dogs.
Nope. What
We Do in the Shadows.
No,
you haven't seen any of these.
I've only seen Curb.
Well,
that's been around forever.
Anyway, the Hacks won it.
Yeah, I could not care less about it.
Here's the test. Outstanding Limited Series. Well, you don't have to put that much dedication into it. Fargo.
No, I have not seen Fargo. I love the movie.
The TV show.
But I've never seen the show.
Never seen the show Fargo. Lessons in Chemistry.
Nope.
Baby Reindeer. Cult following for Baby Reindeer. It is tremendously disturbing to watch.
My wife watched it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is on Netflix,
I
right?
did too.
Yeah.
I watched it. The woman won the award, and Baby Reindeer won for Outstanding Limited Series.
Yeah, I should probably watch that. I heard that's pretty good.
It's very, very upsetting. It's psychologically upsetting.
So
about a stalker.
Yeah. Yeah, she told me a little bit about it. I'll watch it.
All right. Let's go to the phones. Mitch in Phoenix. What's up, Mitch?
Mike Missanelli, how you doing?
What's
buddy?
up, Mitch?
And your sidekick, how you doing?
All good, man.
Good. I like both of you guys. Professionals. You really get into award shows, Mike?
Love them.
Oh, my God. It's the biggest waste of TV time ever.
I don't see it that way. I like to play along and see how like what shows I've watched and whether they're good, and what shows I didn't watch, whether they win. Maybe I should check them out. I learned a little something, Mitch, and plus I love the presenters when they come out with nice the dress ensemble or nice tux looking tuxedos.
Sounds riveting.
I like to learn.
One day we may see you on the red carpet.
I don't think I'm going to be on the red carpet. Oh,
Okay.
Actually, I was on the red carpet. I conned my way into a red carpet during the Super Bowl Mercedes-Benz party.
Did I ever tell you, Mike?
I walked to the red carpet, and they're taking pictures of me.
You just acted like you were supposed to be
Yes. All right, God, I'm sorry.
Mike, did I ever tell you? I probably didn't. I probably told one of the Italian guys that I was in Rocky III.
You were in Rocky III?
Yeah, I was an extra when Rocky was up at the podium at the art museum, and Mr. T was mouthing off against him.
Oh, there you go.
Mrs. Balboa.
How come you didn't get an award for that?
Oh, I did. My wife came home and kissed me all over.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, tonight's game is a show me game. It's going to be show me if you can call offensive plays. It's going to be show me if you can get to the opposing quarterback, and it's going to be a show me to see if they can score more than 25 points.
It's a pretty good call by you, Mitch. Mitch making sense today.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a
I'd
show
love
me
to see
game.
that. They have to get some pressure on Cousins. I mean, I would think this is a day where you get pressure on him.
Wow, I'm just praying that you're going to see Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith able to show that they belong.
That's a big factor.
It is a big factor, but Kirk Cousins get rid of the ball very quickly. If you look at his
Yeah, he
week one
does.
numbers, I think he was, according to Pro Football Focus, like top 5 in how quickly he got rid of the football.
He's a savvy veteran who knows he has to do that.
But you
So-
also, you got to, hopefully Jalen Carter's able to get pressure inside as well. But last week, TJ Watt took over the game for the Steelers. Can Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, can they do something similar? It's definitely, I'd like to see that. That's a good call by Mitch.
Mike in Reading joins us. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm not bad. I gotta say it right while it's hot. How about them Cowboys?
That's absolutely ridiculously embarrassing. It really is.
I mean, I'm watching this game with my boss, and I'm like 5 minutes prior, like, oh, it's a stone cold lock, and I'm thinking, and then I double guess myself as soon as the Saints start putting points on the board, and I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I encourage people to take them at 7.5? Why were they so heavily favored?
Bill cashed in on that. That was Bill's play.
You weren't listening on Friday, Mike.
Bill took the Saints. That was one of his key plays.
And as soon as it happened, I'm like, I'm an idiot for even saying that. I didn't bet, so I'm not worried about it. But, they are the biggest disappointment right now. I have just addressed it. I know we're Eagles fans. They are, in an objective fashion, I got to say, they are the most disappointing franchise in America.
They spin their wheels constantly. It's a joke. Yeah, they gave the quarterback all that money, and I thought their defense looked pretty good week one, and they just got housed by the Saints. Now here's the fear: the Saints all of a sudden are better than we thought, and that's going to be a tougher game on the schedule for the Eagles.
All right, well, bring it on, because I'm going to the game tonight. I'm saying we cover, but I think we score under 30 points. We win 27-21. Cousins gets a late touchdown late in the game. We put him out of it early, and that's it.
Okay, sounds good. I like that actually. It's a good analysis of the game. I think that's going to happen too.
Yeah.
The Eagles will be up by a couple touchdowns and backdoor TD late. Makes the score respectable.
I actually think it's going to be a close game.
Really?
I think the Eagles will pull it off, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think we're overreacting a little bit to what happened in week one with the Falcons offense. They have a ton of weapons, man. I mean, you got Bijan Robinson, you got Kyle Pitts at tight end, you still have Drake London at wide receiver. They added Darnell Mooney at wide receiver. And one of the things that this offense for the Falcons did really well last season was run the football. They were top 10 in the NFL. They averaged 127 yards a game on the ground. The Eagles gave up 163 yards last week to the Green Bay Packers. I expect Bijan Robinson to get a lot of carries tonight, and I think they're going to be able to control the clock. Again, I think the Eagles win, but I think it's going to be a little bit closer than people are saying.
Maybe it will be. I mean, a 6.5 line is a pretty healthy line. I don't know. It went down to 5.5 because A.J. Brown's not going to be there. I really don't think that's going to be much of a factor. I'm pretty confident in this game. So let's go over the picks since we brought them up. You did have that big hit taking the Saints with the points, and they win it outright. Who else did you have?
I had the Chargers -4.5, which was stealing because the Panthers are terrible.
Right.
I had the Bengals +6.5.
You went 3-0?
3-0, but then I threw in a bonus pick that I lost. I said I also thought the Rams were going to cover, or excuse me, we're going to win the game against the Cardinals. They did not.
And I took the Cardinals.
Cardinals was a good one.
I had the counter.
Yeah.
So I had the big college play. Listen, folks, if you're not betting my college games, I'm like 74-0.
I got to start following
right now.
Yeah, you're crushing college football.
Alabama smashes that after the line went up to 16 at Wisconsin.
You said it opened at 8, right?
It opened at 8.5, went up to 16, which told me all this smart money was coming in on Bama, which made it an easy pick. They crushed Wisconsin at Wisconsin. I took the Browns plus the 3. Told you the Browns are going to snap back. And then the Giants, I took to win the game, and they should have won the game.
They lost their kicker.
Because of that idiot head coach. But then I threw the Cardinals in there. So, we're doing okay so far.
Speaking of idiot head coaches, I have been telling you for over a month that Dan Campbell does not impress me as a game day coach. And I know a lot of people love to give him credit because of how aggressive he is. And in the first half of that game, the Lions, and they ended up losing. Did you see the fake punt from their own territory in that football game? Now, I know it worked, and he converts, and everyone's like, oh, how aggressive. That is reckless. That is stupid. And it's going to come back to haunt him, just like it did in the NFC Championship game. Dan Campbell, if he continues this level of recklessness, will never go to a Super Bowl.
Your analysis, Dan Campbell, is very interesting. First of all, I refer to you in my upcoming Around the NFL segment because I'm focused on that game. But this is meathead on meathead crime for you.
I'm not a meathead.
Right? It's not meathead. Like you would think a guy like Bill, who's got that football bravado mentality, would like a guy like Dan Campbell. Instead, it's just the opposite.
I could see Bill delivering the biting kneecap speech to his teammates.
Never. Not my style. See, here's what bothers me about Dan Campbell. I'm all for being aggressive, but there's a fine line to where it becomes reckless.
You don't like this guy because of his bravado. There's something about, see, this is psychological. I think you had a coach that you hated who was like that.
Not true. I actually got along with all my coaches.
Yeah?
I did. I got along with all my coaches. The high school coach who called to make fun of me a couple of weeks ago, I went back and actually coached with him at Eustis, which was great. I just think that Dan Campbell, as a CEO head coach, is what he is. Doesn't call offensive plays, relies on Ben Johnson to do that. He's terrible on game days. He's terrible. And Nick Sirianni, who I defend, is great on game days, and he gets ridiculed, and everybody gives Dan Campbell his flowers because he's so aggressive.
There's something wrong with this. You despise his machismo, and you like a guy who talks about playing flowers. This is very strange to me.
Look.
This is very odd. You worship the guy who's kind of a kook.
I don't worship Sirianni. I've defended him because I think that Sirianni's a lot better than people give him credit for. I think Dan Campbell is overrated. He's a great motivator. You know who Dan Campbell should be? He should be the backup guy on the sidelines. Back it up. Back it up. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, you're too close to the sidelines. Back it up. He should be a strength and conditioning coach. That's what he should be.
There's something to this, man. I got to get to the bottom of this. This is a psychological conundrum with you, hating Dan Campbell. All right, 610-632-0975 is how you climb in the show. We have anything on the text board yet? Yes, we do. We have some Eagle texts. What are they saying, Ray, Bob?
We got Anthony in St. Pete saying, I won't be devastated or even truly upset if they don't win. After watching yesterday's games, I am more convinced you can't judge a team until games 4 or 5. I will keep my eyes on Hurts, Huff, and Carter. After watching what the Steelers did up the middle, Carter should be able to tackle that statue at quarterback. I expect Cousins to release the ball very quickly to his backs and tight end. We'll see. Go Birds.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I won't be devastated or truly upset if they don't win. That's
Well, game 2, I guess. Like Cincinnati's 0-2, right? They're big. But they were 0-2 last year. So, like, game 2 is like, okay, you can rebound from game 2.
I won't be devastated if they lose, assuming they don't lose because of turnovers.
If they don't, listen, they won't be losing this game. Now the number.
You're making me nervous here.
No, I just can't see it that they would lose this game at home on Monday night. I just don't. I don't think the Falcons are good enough right at this point with their quarterback busted, but to come in here and actually win the game. You could be right. It could be a close game. Maybe they need a late field goal to win it. I don't know. I'm staying away from the line. I just don't think the Eagles are going to lose this game.
The only way I could see them losing, and this would be very alarming, would be if turnovers are an issue again. If Jalen Hurts doesn't protect the football tonight, I'm going to have major concerns. Even if they don't lose the game, even if they win the game like they did in Green Bay, but Jalen throws a couple of bad interceptions, I'm going to start getting concerned because I gave him the benefit of the doubt in week 1. But you look now, he's thrown 17 interceptions in his last 18 starts. He only threw 19 his first 45 games in the NFL. He has to stop making bad decisions. He talked about it at his press conferences. Nick Sirianni talked about it at the press conferences he had this week. No turnovers tonight for Jalen Hurts, and I'm feeling good. And I think they win the game if they don't lose the turnover battle.
All right.
You're with me on that.
I just don't. I sit here today. I'm trying to analyze how they could lose the game, and there are a couple of components that you could look at, but I just can't see. I think the Eagles are a better team, and at home on Monday night, it's hard to beat a better team if you're a mediocre team. That's the way I look at it. I know that sounds simplistic. I just don't have any feel at all that the Falcons can upset this team.
But the Falcons roster isn't bad. I mean, you even look at the defense.
But they're not ready to. They're not ready to come in and Philly and win a game on Monday. They just don't have that kind of pedigree yet. Now maybe they're a growing team. Maybe they'll be better. Maybe they'll be a threat in their division. But I don't think in game 2 they're that strong enough to come in here and beat the Eagles.
I hope you're right, but when you look at the defense, they have good players on that defense. Grady Jarrett, who's their defensive tackle, he's going to be a handful for Cam Jurgens and Mekhi Becton. Then they've added Matt Judon this offseason, who's been a very good player in this league. They still have Jesse Bates at safety. They added Justin Simmons, who I wanted to see the Eagles bring in at safety. They still have A.J. Terrell at corner. They have a lot of good players on the defensive side of the football, and they have a lot of good players on offense as well. They just haven't been able to put it all together.
Well, they need time to put it together. And game 2 is not enough time. 610-632-0975. Tim McManus joins us in the 11 o'clock hour. Don't go anywhere. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. hour of the Mike Missanelli Show. It is brought to us by Grungo Law, your law firm where you need help because of an injury. Pray for peace. Prepare for trial. Grungo, Grungo, law.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. A ticket raid is coming up tomorrow at 11 a.m. for 97.5's The Fanatic Fan Fest 2024 with FanDuel. Saturday, September 28th at Xfinity Live. The ticket rate will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss it. So now, during FanFest, you can meet all the Fanatic hosts, and there's lots to do, including shoot your shot on the Sixers half court. They put an actual court out there in the parking lot. The Stixers, that drum corps, will perform live and kick things off to start the event. You can get your favorite Philly team logo painted on your head.
You going to do that?
From Sal's Barbershop. You got it. You got to get that.
Sal's Barbershop. So are they painting it or are they cutting it into your hair?
They're going to paint it. I don't know what that means. They put a decal on there and they spray it.
I'm wondering if you can get enough, because Ray would look good if they carved the Philly P in the back of his head.
What do you think, Ray?
No, I think you should get it painted on. You got a lot of space. You got a canvas to work on right now.
You do have a canvas.
Yeah.
I would think that you should, like, the fans should demand that you do it.
It's a great call.
Demand it.
Let's get a petition going.
We'll see what happens.
How many signatures?
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
You should say
How about me versus Mike on the Sixers half court foul shot competition? Loser gets the logo painted on their head.
You want me in a foul shot competition?
You called me out. You said you were such a good shooter.
I don't know if you want that. I gotta be honest with you. You know, we get beat by an old man.
I heard you were the T.J. McConnell of the 70s.
It's good that Mike wasn't there for when you got bailed out at knockout.
Yeah, my wife bailed me out.
I have won at least 10 foul shooting contests in my life.
Maybe we need to go back to the 3-point line then.
Including 3 straight father-daughter foul shooting contests. Wow. 3 straight in 3 straight years at my daughter's old school.
She's a good shooter, huh?
No, I was the shooter. But combined, we made enough to win it. Also, you can try your arm. Hey, this is what I want to see you do. Try your arm at the quarterback toss.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Take a chance on the FanDuel Giant Casino roulette wheel.
That could also be.
You got Wendy's there. They have the inflatable football toss, cornhole, prize wheel, putt-putt, T-shirt cannon. Frosty's, fries, burgers, and more will be the prizes.
Any egg sandwiches?
If you want. I'm sure they'll special order you one. Sports memorabilia will be on display for purchase. Portion of the proceeds benefiting the American Academy of Cancer Research. Betty's Bounces, the return of the mechanical shark. You can take a run on the Mega Run obstacle course. Try climbing the rock wall. Don't fall. It's all brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more.
And this is for the online ticket raid tomorrow.
11 o'clock ticket raid.
At 11. You can also get tickets to FanFest. Listen to this, Mike. Tonight, for our Birds Insider pregame show that's going to be live at Xfinity Live, me, Andrew Salciunas, Connor Thomas, from 6 to 8:15, we're going to have a QR code set up right outside the PBR bar patio where we're broadcasting from. You can come right up to the table, scan the QR code, get your tickets to FanFest.
All right. Now some more important things. There's a chance for you to win $1,000. It's the Fanatics Kelly Green Cash. What's going on, Ray? What's that?
It's coming up at noon.
Oh, it's coming up at noon? Oh, I had 11 a.m. written down. That's my bad. All right, coming up at noon, it'll be your chance to win.
What do you got to do?
We're going to give you a keyword, and all you got to do is listen for the keyword, and then you'll have 15 minutes to enter the keyword on our Fanatic app or on 975thefanatic.com. How about that?
MBD's cracking me up. I'm sorry.
What? I thought you were laughing at me because I messed it up.
No, I ADD'd for a second, as I usually do with this chat. I don't know if I could read this one on air. MBD basically just says, if your girl says, let's go to FanFest, just know it's to see Ray Dunn. But he says it a little bit worse than that.
Okay. All right. So before you get to the fun, enough people want to talk about the game tonight and what the Eagles need to do. I just want to take a moment to look at that game last night that the Phillies won. Okay, here we go. Diaz is in the game. There's one. He gets one out. Castellanos singles. Bohm is up. Bohm strikes out, but Castellanos is trying to steal second, and he makes it. Now let's go over this again. Castellanos is not exactly Usain Bolt, right? In fact, he's in the 52nd percentile of speed in baseball.
Who's faster, him or Bohm?
I don't know. That's probably a tie.
Yeah.
52nd percentile.
But let's
high
look.
for me.
I want to know if this is a good play or not. He steals. When Bohm has 2 strikes on him, he attempts to steal the base. Bohm strikes out. That's a strikeout double play waiting to happen, and they're out of the inning. Instead, he steals the base. Now, is that dumb luck or is that a savvy play?
Well, considering that you give all the credit to Rob Thompson when players play well, I'm going to give Castellanos some credit on this one for being able to read the pitcher and getting a good jump. Right?
With 2 strikes and 1 out.
You don't like the call?
It's absurd. I don't let it, he makes it. And if they don't win the game unless Castellanos steals second, I'm going, why would you steal second there? You can't run.
So isn't it up to the manager to put a no steal sign up?
No, these guys are on their own. They're not being told when to steal. They feel they get a good jump, they're going to go. I'm wondering what's in his head though. Now, as it turns out, he's safe. And then Real Muto wins the game with a hit. But I'm going, what? I don't know.
I yelled at the TV.
You did?
Yeah.
I don't. On what earth would that be a good play?
I was shocked he was still in the game. He got on base. He did his job. Anyone on that team can run.
So the worst that can happen if you stay there is it's not a strikeout double play, and Real Muto still gets the bat where you can win a game with a double. If you get thrown out on a strikeout double play, you're taking the bat out of a guy's hands.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Since you love to praise Mr. Thompson, do you think he pulled Castellanos aside after the game and said, hey, you can't do that?
No.
But yet you love this guy.
He made it. If he doesn't make it, maybe he pulls him across and said, you can't say it's a bad play when the guy makes it. I'm just saying the mindset of the player at the moment, what is that? Okay, that's a gamble beyond gambles.
I don't think Castellanos thinks much. Do you? Ray, you think he's really analyzing the game?
I don't know, but I'm looking at the play going, oh, my God, really? Dude. But he makes it. Now, maybe he's savvy enough to say, you know what, I'm timing Diaz. Here's my speed. There's no way, when he's slow to the plate, there's no way they're going to be able to get me if I get a decent enough lap. Maybe he analyzed it to the point where he goes, it's a great play. I don't know. But strikeout double play is never a good play to end the inning. All right, let's go back to the phones. Ben in Montgomeryville. Ben, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
What's up?
Ben,
How you guys doing?
what's up, Ben? Are you pumped?
Listen, I'm pumped. I think we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to go 2-0 tonight. We're going to beat the Falcons.
There's the energy we've been looking for all week.
I like it. They're going to win the Super Bowl, huh?
We're going to win the Super Bowl. 17-0. I'm calling it.
Come on now,
Yes.
Ben. Come on now.
Yes. Come on. Listen, I think we're going to go 17-0. I think we're going to be the New England Patriots. I think we could do it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, they fell short of a Super Bowl.
I'm glad
though.
you think so. I'm glad you're optimistic. I bet that's not going to happen.
I don't know. But can I do an Eagles chant?
Yeah, is that what you call for? Just to do an Eagles chant? All right. I want you to analyze the game tonight before you do the Eagles chant. Give me some analysis.
I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a good game. I think Saquon Barkley's going to have a rushing record tonight, and then Jake Elliott's going to kick a long field goal.
Okay. All right.
So they score 13 points?
You got it, Benny.
They're going to score a lot of points. We're going to get a lot of interceptions tonight by Reed Blankenship.
All right, man. Nice. A lot of interceptions by Reed Blankenship tonight. A lot.
I love the energy, though, and the optimism.
Yeah. You know, we could probably do final score and play the game. If people would like to, when you're calling bet the Eagles, if you want to give me a final score and play the game, if you're close like our man was last week, you'll win something.
My grandma was mad at me, by the way, because she left me a voicemail. She was pretty close on the prediction last week, too.
Another voicemail.
Yeah, a lot
Do you answer any of these calls?
No, he doesn't answer. It's
She housed
unbelievable. It's grandma.
She calls a lot while I'm on the air or when I'm trying to put my kids to bed.
Okay.
So I
She
apologize.
took care of you.
Snub
She
it.
did.
Answer the phone.
Poor Grandma
man.
Melly gets the snub. All right, go ahead. What?
What? What was the
What did
question?
she say?
No, she was close on the score last week.
Oh, she was close on the score last week.
She was close on the score. So
okay. I thought
she was mad that I didn't give her credit for it on the air, but she was almost spot
I
on.
thought it was a fresh call that you were going to lay on us.
No, but I could have her call and give her a prediction. I'll have her call me during the show, and I'll have her give her a
All right.
prediction.
By the way, I was watching the Emmys last night. There was one shocking moment, and nobody's going to pick it out. So you watch the Emmys, you want to take a shot at picking out what shocked me more than anything. There's the way my mind works. I'll give you about a half hour to figure it out. Mike Missanelli Show continues on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Vitalico.
Coming up, Tim McManus at 11:30. We'll get the preview of tonight's game, Eagles and Atlanta Falcons at Lincoln Financial Field. Little Monday Night Football special. The city will be shown off tonight. There'll be a lot of camera angles. You know what we get? What we get? The obligatory what?
Rocky Steps.
We'll get that. But what else?
City Hall.
Yeah. What else?
Little Willie Penn. Boathouse Row.
Yeah. What else?
The Liberty Bell.
The Cheesesteak Grill.
Oh, the Cheesesteak Grill.
I don't know if you were doing a bit over there.
Yeah.
We were trying to name everything but a cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak Grill. You know we're going to get that, right?
Yeah, Pat's or Gino's probably, too.
One of them.
The Cheesesteak Grill.
The Cheesesteak Grill. There they are. Sizzling. Oh.
Now, what do you think the chances are Jason Kelsey says something that upsets you again?
No, his wife said not to say teats anymore.
Oh, she did? I missed that.
Yeah, I read the story where his wife counseled him that not to say teats.
And you know, we're going to carry a little bit of it on our pregame show. Nick Foles going to meet with the media before the game, not retiring his number, but he's retiring as an Eagle.
Yes, he is. Nick Foles. I know everybody's excited to have Nick Foles there being, worship.
Let's make some noise. Come on.
There you go.
Nick Foles.
I got to give the guy credit, man. He'll live forever. Gonna live forever.
And he should in this town.
Yeah.
I mean, what a story, though, Mike. Really, they should do a 30 for 30 on Nick Foles' career. Gets traded away by Chip Kelly, comes back. He's the backup. Nobody expects him to go on the run he goes on. Outduels Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. What a story. I still wish Alshon Jeffrey didn't drop that ball in the playoffs against the Saints the following
they
year.
would have,
to just see what would have happened.
You know, at that point, I remember being on the air saying that if they beat this team, I'm all for them moving on from Carson Wentz.
And I think that's what it would have been.
Yeah, it might have been. They might have had no choice had he won that game.
If they beat the Saints, I think you're right. They would not have had a choice. You'd have to bring back Nick Foles. And what a difference the entire trajectory of this team would have been, because maybe you don't draft Jalen Hurts at that point. Like, who knows what happens?
Yeah. Really interesting. But, I never really was a fan of Nick.
How could you not be?
I wasn't a fan. I thought he was a very mediocre quarterback who caught lightning in a bottle, and I think that tells the tale at the end.
Well, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So
but you're a fan of his personally. Like, he's a good dude.
No. As a player, I was never a fan of.
Yeah, he wasn't that great of a quarterback. He's the best backup quarterback of all time, and that's what he should have remained, a backup
For
quarterback.
6 games, he was.
But he's a great backup.
I guess.
Right? That's what you want. You want a guy that can step in.
They love. How could you not keep him? Well, his price tag went up to like $22 million. You still have Carson Wentz you were paying as the number one guy. You couldn't afford a backup that would make that kind of money.
It wasn't only about the price tag either. If you were truly committed to Carson Wentz,
you couldn't have Nick around.
You can't have him looking over his shoulder
couldn't have had him around.
Super Bowl MVP behind him. Yeah,
a lot of males like Nick Foles for the other reason too.
Oh yeah, the BDN.
Yes,
it's the best nickname going.
Yeah,
Mike.
that's like the males go. Well, he's my man. Not only is he a good quarterback, he's got that.
There's some great though.
You know how guys are.
You know, like when they celebrated. Some of the video of the fans celebrating in the streets of the things they said about Nick Foles, we can't repeat them on the air, but, man, I still laugh when they show some of those.
Yeah, I know. All right, 610-632-0975. Let's get Spanky on a cell. What's up, Spankster?
What's up, sir?
How you doing?
I got 4 days. I'm doing it Friday.
That's right, the wedding.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Spank.
Yep.
Congratulations.
You got a nice little ceremony planned or what?
Yeah, we're doing a little small ceremony on Friday with my kids and her kids and close family.
Oh, nice.
And then we're doing a big reception at the Marriott. I told you on Saturday.
Big reception at the Marriott. Did my invitation get lost in the mail? Or,
I told you Like, it's crazy. I got open boy. We gonna have
I'll just crash it. I'll come in to the spank wedding. All right.
Come through. All right, and Mike, I'm gonna call you. The wedding start. I gotta walk into the church. Well, me and her are walking in together because it's private. So I'm gonna call you as I'm going. Right before I go into the church, I'm gonna need you to calm me down.
So when's this gonna happen? Friday?
Yeah, Friday at 2 o'clock Friday.
Oh, that would be awesome. Call me on your way into the church, dude. That would be a live moment that would live in infamy here on the show.
I'm going to call you on like 1:30 as we go right before we walk into the church. I'm going to have you on speaker because she's going to be sitting right beside me.
That's all. I absolutely calm you down, man. It sounds like you got bliss here with this.
Yeah,
with this
man,
lady.
I'm in love, Mike, man. You already know what I went through.
I know. I'm so glad for you, Spank.
Yeah. I'm 52 years old. She's 56. I'm in love, man.
Beautiful.
Is this the second time around for Spanky?
No, this is really technically my first. This is technically me and her first. I just was with my kid's mom for a long time.
Yes.
Well, congratulations, man.
Appreciate that. So let me get to the word at hand. Mike, they got to smash these cats tonight. They got to. And I'm looking for Jalen. He got to be. He was okay in the Green Bay game. I mean, I think those 2 picks was idiotic. I'm gonna say that, but he got to smash these dudes tonight, Mike. Without AJ, they should be able to walk through these cats easy, and they better get to Kirk Cousins too, because I didn't like the pass rush last week. I
agree with you. I think they're a better team than the Falcons. The Falcons aren't ready to pull this kind of thing off.
Yeah, they shouldn't be.
Yeah, they didn't look good last week, and they're gonna come in all of a sudden and flop it. I don't see it.
Yeah, they shouldn't be. And I got a real quick Sixers point too. Mike, I like this team. I like the way they made it up because you got some veterans on there. Now you got some basketball players on here. Because I can honestly say, Mike, I didn't really think that we had basketball players on our team. We had some good guys like Embiid and Maxey, but the rest of the cast that they had, I didn't really look at them as basketball players. They was just okay. Now we got some basketball players on this team, and if we don't get to the conference finals, Mike, they got to start looking at Embiid. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it.
I think that the whole world's going to be saying that if they don't do it this year, Spanky. Hey, listen, man, good luck. I'll wait for your call on Friday.
I'll call you at 1:30, Mike. I promise.
Oh, you got it. Look at that. This is going to be a moment.
It is going to be a moment.
Spanky walking into the church.
And I'm pulling for Spanky, but, man, we can't start the Joel Embiid conversation in September that we're ready to move on from him already.
Oh, you're going to get to hear that conversation early and often.
So we got 2 big guests coming up. Not only Tim McManus at the 11:30 hour. Did you see who's on the line?
Grandma Ellie.
Wants to make her Eagles prediction.
Oh, there you go. Grandma Ellie, part of the show. The Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. Mike Missanelli Show. Eagles and Falcons tonight, Monday Night Football. Eagles coming off a nice win. Seems like forever since they played, but they're missing A.J. Brown tonight. How much will that impact this game? Let's bring in the man who covers the Eagles for ESPN. He, of course, is the great Tim McManus on the Comcast Business Hotline. Hello, Timmy.
What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Fantastic. All right, Tim, let's handle the business of A.J. Brown. First of all, what happens here to fill this void?
Well, A.J. Brown is arguably their best player, Mike, so it's not something that's easily something that they can overcome. But, at the same time, the Eagles obviously have a plethora of weapons that they can use. And so essentially what it means is that Devontae Smith goes up into that primary role. And I think all eyes should be on Dallas Goedert for this one. I mean, we have heard how much, the emphasis on it's A.J. Brown and it's Devontae Smith and it's Dallas Goedert. Well, here's an opportunity where Goedert pulls into kind of that number 2 role. And they're also going to lean a little bit more on Saquon Barkley. So that's the benefit of the fact that they have all these different playmakers at their disposal. But when you don't have Brown, it's that sort of gravitational pull that gets pulled away, and then all of a sudden, so now their best cornerback, let's say it's A.J. Terrell, will have more eyes on Devontae Smith, which means that matchup is not as advantageous as it was at the beginning of the week when you thought that you had Brown. So it makes it a little bit harder sledding for Jalen Hurts, but one that they should be able to overcome against this defense.
All right, let's now look at stopping the run for the Eagles. I assume they're going to get a heavy dose of that with the Falcons tonight and then try to set up some play action. And they weren't that good against the run against Green Bay. What has to happen tonight?
The focus anyway is going to be on Bijan Robinson. I mean, when you heard Nick Sirianni talk this week, Mike, the amount of respect that they have for him and basically saying, like, when you show highlights of him, it reminded him when they showed the team last year of highlights of Saquon Barkley, somebody that can have that kind of effect. And so really you just have to put that focus on there anyway, because I don't know how much you're really threatened by Atlanta's pass game. Like right now you have Kirk Cousins who's working on a bad Achilles, or at least he's coming back from the Achilles. He doesn't look very mobile. If you saw the way that the Falcons went up against the Steelers, there just wasn't Cousins trying to get the ball out quick and not much happening downfield. In other words, I don't know how much the back seven has to be overly preoccupied with the threat of a deep pass game. So I think you load up the box. I think you keep the focus heavily on the one guy that can beat you, and that's Robinson. And so that means that the linebackers, I thought, acquitted themselves pretty well in Week 1 against Green Bay. Certainly Zach Bond did. They need that similar type of production this week to make sure that one of the best playmakers at the running back position in the NFL doesn't hurt.
Just one quick, and I know Bill has a couple questions for you, but Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football. What? I don't get this. I really don't understand how he's so bad on Monday Night Football. What does that say to you? Nothing?
It's like the battle of the two QBs who don't seem to like Monday Night Football very much. Hurts' numbers aren't good either.
Yeah, you're right about that.
He's got 6 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Seems like he's always sick, for these games. And then Cousins and the Falcons, my God. Those records, are dismal. And the chances that he improves that one tonight probably aren't great. Like if you see the way that he was operating that Week 1 against Pittsburgh, like they weren't even putting him in play action out of like a regular snap. They had him in shotgun all the time. That's not really how he functions. He wasn't hardly under center at all. And even the practice footage that they were showing this week of like, here's Kirk Cousins on the move. Dude, he doesn't look like he's moving very much at all. So, it could be tough for him.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins definitely didn't look healthy, but what he did do was he got the ball out of his hands very quickly against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to see Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat get after him tonight, but do you expect him to get the ball out of his hands fast again?
I think so. I mean, I don't know that he has any really other options, Bill. I mean, because he doesn't have the mobility that he's accustomed to. It's not like he's ever a great runner, but usually can move more fluidly than he is right now. And so I don't think he's got much of a choice to. That being said, the Steelers were able to apply pressure, even with Cousins getting the ball out quick. And the same thing falls on this Eagles front for Monday Night Football. And everybody knows that Bryce Huff is kind of under the spotlight. He gets paid $17 million a year. He comes over, and he's blanked and on the stat sheet in week 1. There was bad turf in Sao Paulo. Everybody knows it. Did it affect the pass rush? I think so. But here now he's going up against Caleb McGarry, the right tackle who had a lot of problems against T.J. Watt last week. And nobody's expecting Bryce Huff to be T.J. Watt, but it does serve the point of, okay, here is a matchup opportunity for Philadelphia. Huff needs to show, and he was saying this week, the tape is better than what the stats showed. Well, now it needs to transition over. Now he needs to be the kind of factor that Howie Roseman was hoping would be when he signed him to that lucrative contract. That front is kind of a concern area for this team in general. Week 1 didn't do anything to really give everybody the peace of mind that they were hoping for. And so this would be a great opportunity if they can affect the game and get after kind of a statuesque Kirk Cousins. I think it would put a lot of people's minds at ease.
Timmy, looks like Vic Fangio to me looks like a very overtly judgmental defensive coordinator, and he's got the clout to do that. And I just don't get the impression that he likes Huff. You're there every day. Or you get that sense at all?
Well, the one thing is he's so candid. I don't know if it's a dislike. It's just the way that it is. And so really right out of the chute, Mike, when we asked about Huff in training camp, he was talking about the prospects of him being a 3-down player, and he's not there yet.
Yeah.
Will he get there? Yeah, we hope so. We think so, but he's not there yet. And just consider the amount of money that he's making and the leap of faith that the front office took, where they felt confident, this is somebody that can be a 3-down player for him. And Fangio, the one thing that I respect is that it doesn't matter if he's one of the more highly priced players on the team. He's not going to play him just for that. Brandon Graham was getting as many snaps as he was. Nolan Smith was getting as many snaps as he was. And the same thing for Devin White. Comes in on that, the $4 million deal. The thought is he's going to be the starter. That was kind of the look throughout training camp, and then he just didn't earn it. And Fangio is going to tell you. So that's one thing that I'm really interested in to watch is the fact that he's so unvarnished with his opinions that, friction's going to happen at some point, whether it's with White or it's with Huff. Can you keep those guys kind of, on the straight and narrow and in lockstep with the defensive coordinator when the pressure really starts mounting on both of those respective players? Was something that I got my eye on because obviously there was some friction in Miami, and I'm just curious if there's what level there's going to be here.
It's a great point. It almost looks like he looks at Huff as that's a Howie endorsed guy, and his endorsed guy was Bond. It looks like there's some kind of disparity there in opinion.
Yeah, and I can tell you that unlike guys like Jonathan Gannon, things like that Fangio is very, as you would probably expect, honest and candid about his opinions with personnel. And so it already feels like, there have been moments where he's expressed himself about the personnel on defense, and maybe, it wasn't the most glowing of remarks, right? So that's going to happen with Fangio. That's what you get. There's that side to it. He's got this defense that half the league is copied. So he knows what he's doing. There's a baseline for competency that you're going to get with Fangio, but there's other stuff too. He's, because of the stage that he is in his career, he doesn't care to if he minces, he's not going to mince words. He's going to be very forthright. And so to a certain extent, it's almost like a bull in the china shop, which adds just another level of intrigue to the season.
Yeah, so does that work anymore in today's NFL? Maybe it does if you got the clout and you're successful.
So I had somebody from the Dolphins organization I was talking to when I was doing a piece on Fangio heading into the season, and the point that they made was we're going to be curious to see how he mixes in with the young players in particular. So, because to your point, there's an old school mentality that Fangio absolutely has. There's a lot of a new school sort of attitude in the NFL, and the younger players, by and large, are going to be accustomed to getting coached the way that Fangio is going to coach. In Miami, there was definitely players, as Drew Rosenhaus said right after they parted ways. I think the love lost. There wasn't any love lost between some of those guys, and so it's a fascinating dynamic of if it all goes well, obviously, if they're winning games, it's all good. But when they hit bumps in the road, adversity hits, then what does it look like? Just something to monitor as we move forward.
Tim, we're talking a lot about the Eagles' defense, but let's look at the Falcons' defense. How good are they? Because they looked pretty good last week, but was that because it was Justin Fields and the Steelers, or are they a good squad?
Well, we know that their safeties are certainly good, and so they're built from sort of the back to the front there, and the fact that Jesse Bates, there was a quote from the Steelers' offensive coordinator last week that basically the reason why, if you look at Justin Fields' throwing chart, there was 0 in the middle of the field, and that was out of deference to Bates, like out of respect, like we don't want to throw it there. And so with Jalen Hurts, he's thrown interceptions in 5 consecutive games. That's an NFL record currently, and so he's been a little bit more turnover prone than you would like. Over the field is something that he absolutely has to watch in this game. And then they added Judon, right? So Matthew Judon coming off the edge is something that Jordan Mailata probably primarily is going to have to deal with. And that's a matchup that you absolutely have to circle. So I wouldn't say it's like the best personnel group out there, but there certainly are some stars that can create headaches for you if you don't account for them properly.
All right, Timmy, moment of truth. I don't know. Are you feeling an Eagle win by more than 5.5? That's the current line.
I was thinking double digits before the A.J. Brown injury, and then I guess my calculation has moved a little bit there, Mike, where it'll probably be slightly tougher for the Eagles offense to operate. But I still believe that, until Kirk Cousins, this is probably the best time to catch the Falcons from that perspective.
I agree.
Cousins isn't recovered. Like, maybe he gets better by week 5. Maybe Penix comes in there eventually and really gives them some juice. Right now is the time to catch them. So I'm thinking it's probably about a touchdown win for the Eagles tonight.
I hear you, Timmy. We're on the same page. Thank you so much, and then have a great evening covering the Birds tonight.
Beautiful. Talk to you guys soon.
All right, there he is, Tim McManus, ESPN.com, covering the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, I don't know. I think I have the same feel that he has. I mean, this Falcons team, they have to grow. They got some personnel, but the quarterback's not right yet and not in the flow. I just don't see where that guy is going to come in on a Monday night and beat the Eagles. But again, I didn't know that that's a current NFL record. He's thrown interceptions in 5 straight games.
That's a little
what?
alarming. Yeah, that's concerning.
What's going on here? All right, let's get her in here. The one and only Grandma Ellie. What's up, Grandma Ellie?
Hi. Hi, guys.
Hello, Ellie. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How you feeling about tonight's game?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I came so close to the Green Bay game. Did Bill tell you? My score was 31. They had 22 seconds left, and they hit a field goal, and it made it 34. I would have been right on the nose if they didn't get that field.
Wow, look at you, Grandma Ellie.
She's been watching football for a long time.
My predictions are pretty good. So I'm going to tell you about tonight.
Okay.
Atlanta is not going to win. You're going to get shocked of the score I'm giving you.
All right, Atlanta.
38. The Eagles, 38 points they're going to get tonight.
38. I like it.
Yes.
And how much the Falcons going to get?
The Falcons, I don't know. They'll be in the maybe 17, maybe.
38 to 17 is Grandma Ellie's prediction.
Do you think it's a blowout, Grandma?
It's going to be a blowout. Believe me.
I kind of like it. I'm with you, Grandma.
You are? I'm glad you are.
Yep.
But now, talk about the next one. That would be New Orleans next week.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'll give you my prediction next week. But as far as I tell you, they're going to win the first 3 games the last time I spoke.
Oh, they're going to beat this New Orleans Saints team.
Oh, Graham, one more thing for you, though, before you run.
Yes, sir.
Were you listening last week when Mike said he doesn't like eggs? Can you talk some sense into this man that I have to work with every day?
Eggs are good for you. There's a lot of protein in eggs. Yeah, but he gets his protein because if he eats meatballs and he eats foods that have eggs in it, he's getting his protein.
There you go.
All right, Grandma. I love you.
Get my protein. All right, Grandma.
That'll give it to you.
All right.
But eggs are good for you. You should eat eggs.
Yeah, I know. They're good for you.
They're good for you.
Really good for you. I eat enough meat. I get my protein in.
I actually think I'm
every
eating
night.
too many eggs. After we had that conversation, I went back and thought about how many eggs I actually eat a day. I got to check my cholesterol.
Well, I bet you my cholesterol's better than yours. Having not eaten eggs all my life. I bet
I'm going to have to check. So Grandma thinks it's a blowout. Tim thinks it's a blowout, more than a touchdown. I don't know why. I think it's going to be a close game tonight. It's week 2. You saw it.
I think
Week
the
2's a funky week.
Majority of Eagle fans are totally confident and content. Although we do have a nervous Eagles text. Right? What? Some people nervous out there? I think the fact that we're not really taking inventory that this could be a loss. That's the feel I get with the Eagle fan base.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's picking a loss.
Let's see what we have with the nervous text.
Bruce from East Earl. I am nervous about tonight's Birds game. 160-plus yards allowed on the ground last week. Robinson is no easy task. Keeping the Birds' offense off the field is the recipe to beat them. Hope our D-line plays well and gets our defense off the field.
It's a total key. Stopping the run tonight. They gave up 7.1 yards per carry last week. Running the football against them.
They did. The crazy thing is, though, you look at that Falcons team, they only put up 89 yards on the ground last week.
Yeah, they did. And Bijan Robinson had, 60-something?
Yeah, I mean, they tried to utilize him a lot.
They did.
But I don't know how good is the Steelers' defense. They do have T.J. Watt, who was wreaking havoc in the backfield. But I don't know. I'm not expecting the Falcons to score a ton of points tonight. But I also think that the Falcons' defense is going to keep the Eagles' offense a little bit more in check than maybe people think. As good as the Eagles' offense can be. No A.J. Brown. They got a lot of playmakers on the Falcons' defense. One thing that Raheem Morris does do well is defense. That's what he was. He was the defensive coordinator for the Rams last year. So I think it's going to be a little bit closer. Maybe I was going to say over, but maybe this is an under tonight. What is?
I don't know, but Tim brought up a good point. It'd be a Dallas Goedert game. We haven't really thought about him in a long time being a Dallas Goedert game. Like he's gone from being a valuable weapon to somebody. He's on the field.
We wait for it every year, Mike. This is going to be Dallas Goedert's Pro Bowl season.
It's weird that maybe it's because the hype has gone so much to the receivers, the wide receivers, that we're not thinking about Goddard as much anymore. But tonight, I think Tim makes a great point. Tonight, he's got to be employed.
Yeah, last week he was targeted 5 times. He had 4 catches, 31 yards.
Paltry numbers.
What I didn't like, again, is I felt like every time they got the ball to Goddard, it's very close to the line of scrimmage. I want to see them try to utilize this guy down the field a little bit.
And they tried the tight end screen again.
They tried.
Kellen Moore, has he not seen how bad that play is for them?
That's the 5% same.
Yeah.
That's the 5% of the offensive state. It's all the tight end screens.
Like Kellen Moore watching the video of the Eagles last year, that would be the first thing I'd eliminate. I would never call that play if I was Kellen Moore. They don't run it well. They can't run it.
They don't. But it's not going to be an easy night for Goddard because I do like the safeties on the Falcons. Jesse Bates, one of the best safeties in the NFL. Justin Simmons is the guy I thought the Eagles would have signed. The longer he went into the offseason unsigned, has experience with Vic Fangio. So if they're lined up over Goddard, it's not going to be an easy day. Now, Goddard needs to take advantage of the linebackers when you get that mismatch.
Maybe Jahan comes up big tonight after being scorned by the voters, dropping Penn State in the polls, and they didn't even play. You see what I'm talking about with this Penn State prejudice? Jahan, carry that with you tonight.
Did Notre Dame win?
Yeah, they won. They bounced back.
I'm neither. I'm not a Notre Dame or a Penn State guy.
Coming up, Kelly Green Cash at 12. The news at noon around the NFL at 12:30. Big hour coming up on a Mike Missanelli show. Kelly Green Cash giveaway. I'm about to give you a keyword. You got to enter it. The keyword is bling, B-L-I-N-G. You have 15 minutes to enter it at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, or text it to the special contest short code, which is 45911. That's 45911 to text it. Bling, B-L-I-N-G. One random entry will win $1,000 in this company-wide contest. Winners will get a call from Beasley Media. To be sure to answer your phone if it's a number you don't recognize. Complete rules are at 975thefanatic.com. Sponsored by Rand Spear, the accident lawyer.
Coming up at 2, the best show ever.
Hour brought to us by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months and a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. It is noontime, which means it is time for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Oh, the news at noon. Brought to us by producer Ray Dunn. Ray, what did you come up with today for the news at noon?
All right, we'll get to some football coming up later on the news at noon, but I want to start with some good sports hate. We saw it a little bit. Mets, Phillies meant something this weekend. I think back to just how much Chase Utley still hates the Mets right now, and I got a little taste of that in a different rivalry this weekend. Yankees and Red Sox. Nesson had Kevin Youkilis in on the box during the game, and he was getting a chance to commentate over a Gleyber Torres at bat, and he did everything he possibly could to discredit him in this at bat. Take a listen to this.
Yeah, I saw Gleyber Torres as a young prospect of the Cubs system, and just went about the game all the right way, and not seeing the same kind of effort and the way he goes about it.
He's going to rip this one on a line deep to right field, and that ball is gone. Home run, Torres is 14th. And that'll make it 2-0 Yankees early on this Sunday. That was out of here quick.
And that is the beauty of playing here. I mean, that ball, I think this might be the only part of the homer in. But obviously he had a better plan than me. That 2-0, it was weird how he just took it the way he did. But right there, just going the other way with it. And that's what you can do here. At Fenway Park, I think that ball gets caught the way you position.
Egg on the face. Gleyber Torres makes him look like a fool. He might be right about Gleyber Torres, but I think Kevin Youkilis, had a part in Moneyball. Remember?
He was in that movie?
Where was he in that movie?
I remember where it was in that movie.
Ray knows.
I don't remember him in that movie.
Billy, this is Kevin Youkilis. He's the king of walks.
King of walks.
They're watching video.
Sitting there watching him.
Yes.
Who was he playing with that point? I forget the minor league team.
Yeah, some minor league team. Or some independent league team it might have been.
Might have been.
Yeah, I think it was an independent league team. All right, what do you got next?
All right, let's go to Jesse Palmer, who was on the call for Florida, Texas A&M, and borrowed a little bit from his other job as the host of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. He saw someone in that Gators student section and just eviscerated this poor kid.
He's got a mustache, can't see it now, but he's whipping his hand with his shirt. I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I'm going to say that guy's in the friend zone.
I can't. Listen, you are a top analyst. I'm just going to say, you know how to give analysis.
Years of relationship and dating, I see it up close and personal on my other job, and I think I'm going to say he's a good listener.
Bachelor Nation is in desperate need of this kind of analysis, Katie.
Don't kick a man while he's down, Jesse. Leave him alone.
No, I think he's a great guy. I didn't say he was a bad guy. I'm just saying I don't think he's dating anybody in the shot right now. I think
So it's a nerdy-looking kid next to a good-looking woman? Good-looking girl?
Guy in overalls.
Oh, the guy in overall.
With the T-shirt swinging around and the mustache. And Jesse Palmer picks him out of the student section while Florida's losing and says, yeah, that guy's in the friend zone.
Friend zone. He'll never have a girlfriend.
I like when he says he's probably a great listener.
That's brutal. He's watching his Gators lose. He's having the worst time of his life. And there he is on national TV being told pretty much, yeah, you got no shot with any girl you're standing around right now.
Didn't Jesse Palmer lose his job to Danny Warfel? I think I remember a time when Florida had like 4 quarterbacks. They couldn't decide on one. And finally, Warfel got the job. I think Jesse Palmer was there, but at the same time. They tried out for like 3 different. I remember specifically, he was one of the guys they tried out, and it never worked out for him at Florida.
I don't remember.
He was a Florida quarterback. He played like 3 games.
I didn't realize
he was supposed to be a highly touted quarterback, but they couldn't figure out which one was going to start for him. And I think Werfel eventually became the starter.
Jesse Palmer was drafted in both the NFL draft and the CFL draft.
He was drafted in the NFL?
Yeah, he was drafted in the 4th round in 2001. But the Canadian Football
had a
League,
better career than I remember.
The Canadian Football League drafted him the same year in round 2.
Oh, there you go.
Jeez, he was drafted in the 4th round?
I can't remember that he had a decent college career.
Well, it doesn't say.
Unless they drafted him for potential. He came as a highly touted player.
Well, the team that drafted him, the New York Giants, so they're not great at identifying quarterbacks.
He was stuck in the NFL for a couple of years.
Yeah, he bounced around.
Yeah,
he was with the Giants,
but I don't think
Niners.
He was played many games for Florida. All right, whatever. We'll check that out. Go ahead, Ray. What's number 3?
All right, finally here. The Packers, they regrouped. They won. Malik Willis. How about that? Now, they had a pivotal 3rd down in the second quarter. 3rd and 10. Malik Willis, it was a design play for him to throw the football. 10 yards to first down makes sense. He ran the ball. Matt LaFleur, not too happy with him running the football. We got the explanation of this one after the game from LaFleur, talking about what exactly happened on that play.
Yeah, I asked Malik why he didn't throw the ball on that 3rd down, and he told me that Josh threw up on the ball. I was like, that's the first time I've ever heard that.
Wait, is that real?
The center threw up on the football.
Before he snapped it?
Before he snapped it.
So Malik Willis got goo in his hands, and that's why he didn't throw a pass?
So him running with it, doesn't that kind of put the ball a little bit closer to you? I mean, if he's tucking it there like that.
He took one for the team. Instead of flinging the goo, he absorbed it with his hands.
He probably thought he couldn't get a good grip to throw it.
I don't question that part of it. Listen, I don't think you're going to get a good grip to throw it after,
Ray would have dropped the snap.
I'm done. I'm handing that ball off. The running back's getting that one.
Fumble!
Oh, my God. All right.
Josh Myers throwing up on the football.
Oh, man. That's a weird story.
That's a really weird story.
It really is.
Why didn't you get that 3rd down? The center got a little sick.
Malik Willis gets a W.
He does. Not that.
Not like anything he did, but they got the W.
Josh Jacobs ran a lot in that game.
That's the news at noon. All right, I got Jesse Palmer's record up. Played 6 games as a freshman, 6 games as a sophomore, 5 games as a junior. And then he must have started the next year. He started 10 games, very mediocre numbers, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, threw for 1,600 yards that year. And he got drafted?
Yeah, in the 4th round, too.
I think he had come as a highly touted player and never lived up to it. And so somebody took a shot.
That's a high draft pick, though. But look, quarterbacks, we know they reach. Teams reach on quarterbacks, but 4th round's pretty high. It's not like they took him as a 7th round flyer.
Yeah. Doug Johnson was the starter of Florida on his junior year. His sophomore year, the starter was Doug Johnson. I don't even remember who Doug Johnson was. Doug Johnson? Who's Doug Johnson? You remember who that was?
I don't.
And when he was a freshman, and when Jesse came there, it was Doug Johnson again.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I don't even know who that is.
And Ray, some of the YouTube chat's mad at you for your choice of topics for the news at noon.
Why is that?
You're saying because it's lunchtime and you threw a throw-up topic.
I did. I thought about that. I did think about our audience, but sometimes entertainment value kind of supersedes your stomach. You're just going to have to kind of deal with that one today. I'm sorry to our audience on that one.
All right. Well, that's all right. Okay, it was a good story.
I thought it was a good story.
It is a good
Unfortunately,
story.
you can't
Very
avoid
well
it.
done.
Yeah, it's newsworthy.
All right, so before the break, I know people go, you stop whining about this. I just want to be realistic about this. I have told you repeatedly how there is this inner prejudice among the voters for Penn State.
You're very upset that they dropped him.
No, I've been telling you about this, right? Because most people don't like Penn State unless you're connected to Penn State. They don't like Penn State because of this obnoxious image they have of being pristine and Happy Valley and we are and all this nonsense, right? But on what planet can you justify you're voting, the team doesn't play, and you drop them 2 spots?
Well, they should have dropped farther after they almost lost to Bowling Green.
No, this
is a delayed drop.
You shouldn't drop when you win a game by 2 touchdowns, right? And they didn't. They didn't move up, but they didn't drop. But how do you drop them? I'm asking a real question here.
So
is that out of line to drop a team that's on a bye?
It's because Miami moved up 2 spots.
Well, they can't. You can't drop a team when they don't play.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
It's wrong. It's fundamentally wrong. And I would say that for any team.
But they
You
wanted to
should
move
get punished.
Miami up.
I don't care. Well, then drop somebody else. You can't drop a team that didn't play.
You can't because every other team won.
You shouldn't value the team that won more than the team that's idle. They didn't have a chance to win. 610-632-0975. You see, this is why Jahan Dotson's got to go crazy tonight. Mike Missanelli Show back after this. That I saw that piqued my interest with the NFL games on Sunday. The Phillies now with a big series against the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee tonight. The Phillies presently hold a 4-game lead over the Brewers, the team that you were afraid that were going to snatch their bye away from them. If the Phillies sweep this series, Bill, which they won't, but if they sweep, they'd be 8 up with 10 games left to play. Any combination thereafter of Phillies wins and Brewers losses totaling 3 would guarantee a first-round bye. If the Phillies win 2 of 3, that magic number is 5. If the Phillies lose 2 of 3, the magic number is 7. If the Phillies get swept, magic number goes to 9. And the tiebreaker would revert to the best record within the division. Right now, Milwaukee 30-19 against the NL Central with just 3 games remaining, and those 3 games are at Pittsburgh. The Phillies are 26-18 with 4 at New York and the final weekend at Washington left.
I need 3 things in this series. Don't get swept. Ranger Suarez and Aaron Nola both have to look strong. That's all I need. 1 win and 2 strong outings from Nola and Suarez, and I'm feeling pretty good.
All right. So Suarez, Nola will pitch in this series, sandwiched around Wheeler against Montas in the middle. Suarez, Savali tonight, and Nola, Peralta. That's a tough nut. That last game would be a tough one for him.
Yeah, as long as they don't get swept. As long as they don't get swept, the Phillies will be just fine. They're gonna get that bye, hopefully. You just don't want to see them get
very thrilling series, man. This was a very entertaining series for the fans playing in Mets, winning 2 of 3 the way they did.
That was exciting. It really was. You know what's shocking to me about this Brewers team? I mean, not only that they're as good as they are, because you look at their lineup and their pitching staff, I wouldn't have expected them to be this good. They got the best run differential in the entire major leagues.
Small ball, too.
Plus 134.
Yeah, they score runs the old-fashioned way. They're a good team. Listen, I admire the Milwaukee Brewers. They're one of those underdog teams, small market, and they play well. They play well almost every year. I thought Council was the magic, but the new guys come in, done the same thing.
We'll see what
Phillies
happens.
win. I will say the Phillies lose 2 of 3.
That's what I'm thinking, too, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because that won't hurt them. Bilal in Philly joins us. What's up, Bilal?
Yo, Mike, what's up,
How
man?
you doing, man?
Nah, man, see, you wrong. You wrong. When you was on that other station, you sent me an email. Yo, follow me. I'm going here. I followed you. You left. I didn't even know you was back. I just so happened to turn the station on by accident. And I'm like, that sounds like...
Come on, Bilal. Those are news come to your house.
Nah, man, you wrong, man. I ain't get no email from you. I'm back or nothing like that.
I'm on vacation.
I was on vacation for 2 years and 3 months, man, and my vacation time ran out.
Yeah, all right. What's up, Mike, man? Good to hear you.
Good to hear you, Bilal. How you doing?
Since you back, I'm back. You know what I mean? Hey, Mike, real quick, I want to tell you, you know my nephew. Remember my nephew here, Dallas fan?
Yes.
He was sad. Oh, he was so sad. Yes. I almost felt sorry for him. You know, my nephew Naeem. I almost felt sorry for him.
Yeah, well, but you came to your senses and you didn't feel sorry for him, right? That team takes their fan base. They drag their fan base from cars, man. They're ridiculous.
Only reason why I almost felt sorry for him because he was my nephew. But then when I realized he was a Dallas fan, it just went away. So I ain't feel sorry.
I hear you. I hear you.
But Mike, welcome back, man. I was telling your producer, man. I'm on the ledge about tonight, man.
You are. All right, now tell me why, Bilal, because you got a good sensibilities when it comes to sports in this town.
Well, the thing to it is, like I was telling your producer, I hate hitting injuries. You know what I mean? You know, AJ might be hurt, then CJ out, and then Maddox is in the way, and then, you know, like, what hurts is, like, sometimes if everything ain't falling the way it should, sometimes he get lost. And I'm just, and you know, Atlanta, we always have situations with Atlanta. You know, ever since that Ike Reese fight, man,
Well, he had situations with Atlanta when Matt Ryan was there. I don't know about now. You know?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, Matt Ryan
yeah,
used
not when
to.
Mike was there.
Yeah, Matt Ryan used to play well against him. But I don't know. This guy's coming back from an injury. He doesn't look spry. They can't utilize as much play action if they don't have him under center. So we'll see. I think the Eagles win and cover, Bilal.
Well, I just feel like the defense just got to. I don't know about that defense, man. I just don't.
Well, you got to stop the run.
They played the red zone real good, but
yeah, they got to stop the run. They didn't stop the run last week, and they're going to get a heavy dose of it.
And a lot of people don't realize that field was horrible, and I think a lot played on that field on both teams, but more so on Green Bay than it did on us.
Hey, Bilal, nice hearing from you, buddy.
Yes,
call again.
Definitely.
All right, man. That's the great Bilal. I love him as a caller. Knows he's talking about Sixer season. Hope he's calling a lot.
Yeah, I just can't believe he missed the news that you were coming back. I think it was on every news outlet. We ran about 72 promotions a day.
A lot of people miss the news. News doesn't flow like it used to.
Well, if you don't know, now you know.
There you go. 610-632-0975. Coming up around the NFL. What piqued my interest? What sound bites will we play? It's going to be exciting. Don't go away. Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic on a game day in Philadelphia. The Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons tonight. Kirk Cousins. What was that? What did he? We had that soundbite up here before. What was that thing? You like that?
That used to be his thing.
Yeah, you like that? Well, we'll see how he makes out tonight. But right now, let's review the doings on the Sunday of football yesterday with a little thing we call Around the NFL. There we go. We got the football music. You know, when the Cowboys lose, it's enjoyable. When they get hammered, it's gleeful. The New Orleans Saints, what the hell? Was this team better than we thought? Are they going to be more of an opponent for the Eagles? Hey, man, they crushed Dallas yesterday in Dallas. 44-19. Alvin Kamara, 4 touchdowns against what was supposed to be a pretty good Cowboys defense, including hitting on a 57-yarder on a screen pass. Derek Carr threw for 243 and 2 touchdowns. Saints rolled up 432 yards. It was the second straight 40 or more game for them this season. Uh-oh. Look out. Here come the Saints. Carr's best was, though, a 70-yard TD strike to Rashid Shaheed, and here it is.
Well, Williams in the game at bat. Carr pressure, lets it fly. Going deep, Shaheed. He's got it! Touchdown, New Orleans! A bomb to Shaheed!
You know who I started as my fantasy quarterback yesterday, Mike? Derek Carr.
Well, I don't know. Now I'm scared of this game that the Eagles have to play. All right, number 2, let's stay in the division. Now, I don't know how an NFL team with traditions and resources like the New York Giants can consistently, year after year, be so bad. But Brian Daboll and the G-Men still are. Giants lost to a team that couldn't even score a touchdown yesterday. 7 field goals for the lousy Washington Commanders as they beat the Giants 21-18. And here's the kicker. See what I did there? The Giants didn't have a kicker. Graham Gano came into the game with a bad groin, so Daboll doesn't activate his backup kicker. So naturally, Gano pulls a hamstring trying to chase down a kickoff return touchdown that was called back for a penalty. Why do kickers continue to do this when they're not in shape and they always get hurt trying to do it? Daboll, anyway, tried his punter on a PAT. That was embarrassing, so they had no chance to even tie the game with a field goal later and had to go for 2 the whole time. Here's Daboll trying to explain his way out of this.
We talked about a lot of things, Dan. We thought he'd be good to go. We talked to him, talked to the trainers, and, again, I can't tell you he's going to get hurt chasing down a, 100-yard kickoff return that was called back, but again.
But isn't a player at a higher increase, and isn't a player at a higher risk of injury when he's dealing with soft tissue?
Yeah, I'd say I'm not a doctor.
There it is, a little snarky. I'm not a doctor. Brian Daboll has lost some weight, but he hasn't lost his temper. You see his act on the sidelines?
He's terrible on the sidelines.
He's throwing his headphones. You can't do. This is a pro. It's a pro football now. If you're in college, you can get away with that. You look like a goof doing that. This is where I lost Sirianni.
Look at you. You're coming around as a Sirianni guy.
Headphones, and he's a little calmer this year.
But go back to last year, Mike. Brian Daboll and Wink Martindale had major issues. Wink Martindale kind of went around him to the owner saying, look, this can't go on.
Yeah.
Daboll's not a good coach.
No, and he was a big get for them. They thought he was going to turn it around. All right, number 3. This one's for Bill. Aaron Rodgers got his first win as a Jet. Jets. They beat the Titans 24-17. Okay, he wasn't spectacular. They went 18 for 30 for 176. But the Jets' defense was stout, sacking Titans quarterback Will Levis 4 times. Rodgers did throw a couple of touchdowns, though. There you go. It was Braylon Allen, the youngest player in the league, had a nice day. Allen ran for a 20-yard touchdown late in the fourth quarter to give the Jets the win. Here it is.
Give it to him. Allen cuts it to the outside. He's gone. Touchdown, Jets.
You going to laud Aaron Rodgers or no?
No. I told you. You have him in your top 5. He's too old.
Got his first W for the Jets.
He didn't look great.
One of many more. Number 4, this one's also for Bill. He hates the Lions and he hates Dan Campbell, so this is going to be right up his alley. The resurgent Tampa Bay Buccaneers slayed the Lions Sunday 20-16. Baker Mayfield ran for a TD, threw for another one, but the important part of this game was a blunder from Campbell. Somehow the Lions had both the offense and kicking team on the field at the same time near the end of the first half. That drew a flag that resulted in a 10-second runoff, and the Lions couldn't even get an attempt at a field goal. And here is an emotional Campbell after the game.
You know, I asked for improvement from last week, was the story. And we did improve. And their coach cost him. Their head coach cost him this one. So
it's a common theme.
Critical error in the half. And 100% on me. We improved. There's areas we got to continue to improve on, but it's not okay.
Emotional. Taking the blame himself, getting weepy about not making the right moves.
When you are a CEO coach like Dan Campbell, you should not be losing games for your team with bad decisions and bad management of who's in. Is it special teams? That's the easiest thing in the world for an NFL team. Dan Campbell, overrated. I've been saying it all summer. I'll continue to say it until he proves otherwise.
Relax, they're still a pretty good team, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 2-0. All right, last one's the game of the week. Chiefs survive again. That's that team. Yeah, I swear to God, they have a 4-leaf clover in their keister. Anyway, they edged the Cincinnati Bengals 26-25, but it took a fourth down pass interference penalty to make it happen. The Bengals look to be in really good position on defense as they forced Patrick Mahomes into a 4th and 16 at his own 35, and they're in the lead 25-23. Mahomes on the 4th down scurries out of the pocket, flings it to Rashee Rice, but the Cincinnati defender Anthony Dijon, how do you pronounce that? Is it how do you pronounce that? Is that Dijon?
I think it's pronounced pass interference.
Anyway, he got there too early because he raked the receiver from the back. Here is the play.
Rushing. He's coming up. Now he's going laterally. He's going to throw it on the run, and it's broken up, and there's no flag. Oh, flag comes in late. A flag comes in late. And they're in field goal range.
Yeah. They're field goal range.
Defense number 33. Ball is placed in the final foul. First down.
They're in field goal range, and of course, Harrison Butker wins it with a 51-yarder, and I assumed after the game he expected his wife to have fixed dinner for him. So,
why no dinner? You got to take a shot at him?
All right. Yeah. That's inside the NFL for today.
People get upset that the Kansas City Chiefs keep getting lucky breaks. Mm-hmm. That was a pass interference call. They didn't need to.
Total pass interference.
The guy, it's bad. He didn't have to do that.
Well, he didn't have to do it, but here's the thing. He can't allow the completion either. The problem was he got there too late. Instead of, he could have gotten tall, or he could have gotten there earlier and gotten taller to slap that ball away on top of Rashee Rice, but he didn't.
I don't think it would have been catchable. All he had to do was stay there.
It was catchable.
It was high.
Yeah, but he still had to make a play. You can't allow the ball to get to the receiver's hands.
He was out of position. You're right. He was out of position, which then resulted in him getting there a little early.
The Chiefs team, they win, but by the hair on their chinny chin.
They keep winning.
It's unbelievable the way this team continues to win.
They keep winning. You know what bothers me about the whole? I've accepted that they're going to continue to pan to Taylor Swift. They're going to do it. Mm-hmm. Why does she always look so surprised when Travis Kelce catches a pass? It's like, oh my God, Travis. Have you seen it? It's like, dude, he's the best tight end in NFL history. What are you surprised that he caught the ball for? Have you seen that? Am I the only one that gets frustrated with that? To me, it's an overreaction of enjoyment.
With Taylor?
Yes.
It's her. She's a silly ass little.
She gets so excited and shocked. It's like, oh my God.
Man. She's like 17.
No woman ever get excited at the Gettysburg games when you made a catch?
Dude, act like you've been there. If I'm catching as many balls as Travis Kelce's catching, I don't want you to act shocked when I catch it.
Gettysburg homecoming queen is up. Bill!
Gettysburg.
There was never one woman that got excited for you catching passes?
Not like that. Look, there's a difference between being excited and acting shocked.
She's like a 17-year-old girl. that 17-year-old girls follow. She acts like she's 17. That's all right.
It's like, oh my God, Travis. It's like, come on.
This is all new to her, man. You know?
I'm
It's
over it.
like a cheerleader thing going.
Yeah, maybe I'm just hating. Maybe I'm just being a hater. I'm happy for them.
No, you're not.
I'm happy for
You
them.
do not sound happy for
I'm
them.
trying to convince myself.
You got to do a better job. You're not coming across very convincing as happy for them.
Speaking of relationships, did you see the news where the girl from The Bachelorette is shooting her shot at Max Strus, the basketball player for Cleveland Cavaliers? The Bachelorette, the girl who was dumped
brutally
by the guy that chose her or she chose is shooting her shot on NBA player Max Strus.
Wow.
They're her man crush.
Good for her, I guess.
Strus.
What did she do, right? She sent him a text?
No, she put this out there. There was.
She put it out there public?
Yeah, this was on a podcast that she thinks Tatum, I think, is the celebrity crush, and then she kept going and saying she was looking for Max Strus as well. I believe that was the way. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Bill. You're not following up on The Bachelorette and The Bachelor?
I don't watch those kind of shows. You just keep me updated on that.
Well,
Here's her exact line. Max Strus, if you're out there and you're single, I'm here and I'm ready.
See, that girl I would run a million miles away from. She's so desperate for a boyfriend, to go on the back and then to do this. Her name's Jen Tran.
Yeah, I mean, going on The Bachelor in of itself or The Bachelorette in of itself, you're a certain type of individual. You want attention. You're not really trying to find love on The Bachelorette or The Bachelor, right?
Maybe. I don't know. You find love in the strangest places, Bill, even if it's on national television.
We fell in love in a hopeless place.
See, this is why.
You got to stop turning off my mic when I'm feeling it.
This is why the girls were all in the Bill, because he's got the voice,
Yeah.
when he would score a touchdown, Bill!
Yeah.
In the Gettysburg press box.
Now, the cheerleaders, they had their own chant.
Which was like a 3x5 height.
It was B-I-L-L-Y. He's our guy. He's our guy.
Somebody brought
I really hope that's
tool
real.
shed over there and put it at the top of the stand.
That is a
for
real
the press box at Gettysburg.
Only my freshman year did the cheerleaders do that cheer.
Did they have a PR announcer at Gettysburg?
At Gettysburg, yeah, we had a PR guy.
Yeah. I mean, like public address guy. PR.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, well, they would do the first down bullets like that.
Oh, yeah, that.
Colorado.
At Musselman
make fun.
Musselman Stadium. Everything was Musselman at Gettysburg for the apples.
Oh,
and
really?
The applesauce.
Is that where the applesauce people are?
Yeah, it was Musselman Stadium, Musselman
really?
Library. Everything was
I
Musselman.
used to eat applesauce with pork chops.
Yeah, Musselman sponsored everything.
Missanelli for dinner. When we had the pork chops, it was always applesauce and mashed potatoes with the pork chop.
I was never an applesauce guy.
Yeah?
Nah, I never liked it.
Open a jar. But what's not to like?
That's not my thing. I'd rather eat an apple.
Stick a spoon in there.
I'd rather eat an apple.
All right. Then we had a text from Uncle Frank, who is nervous about tonight's game. Uncle Frank's nervous?
I'm getting the orders for the nervous boat. This game is giving me agita tonight. No A.J. Brown, plus all the money is going on the Eagles side, but the line hasn't budged. I'm reading my tea leaves correct. It's a close game.
Ooh, close game. I'm just not feeling it. Listen, I would love to feel that, because I'd love to, play with people's emotions. but
I am feeling a close game.
I am not feeling it at all.
We just did our picks for Dylan, who does our social media here at The Fanatic. He posted it on Instagram, and I said it last week when it was 6.5, and I'm sticking with it when it's 5.5. I don't think the Eagles cover tonight. I think they win. I don't think they cover. I think that we're overvaluing what happened against the Steelers in week 1. I don't expect Kirk Cousins to be as bad as he was last week, and they do have a lot of weapons, and I think we're forgetting how questionable the Eagles' defense is. Nakobe Dean's not good in pass coverage. Well, now he's going to have to deal with Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts. You're still going to have, is Isaiah Rodgers coming back and sliding Quinyon Mitchell into the nickel, or are you going to see more of Avonte Maddox again? Are you going to see rookie Cooper DeJean get more reps at that nickel corner? Well, can they cover Darnell Mooney, Drake London? They have weapons on offense. I do expect the Falcons to score some points, and I think their defense has a lot of players as well. It's not going to be an easy game, Mike. It's not.
Yeah, I'm feeling just the opposite. Really, I think you're giving too much credit to what the Falcons are in Week 2 on a Monday night game at Lincoln Financial Field. I'm just not feeling that they're going to be up for that kind of a challenge.
Well, you look at the Falcons, and this is going off last year's numbers. Top 10 rushing offense. Philadelphia Eagles are coming off 163 yards against the Packers.
That's the thing. They know that they didn't stop the run last week. What do you think Fangio's not going to adjust?
All right, so now they load the box. Tim McManus, who joined us at 11:30, said, well, maybe they load up the box. I think if they do that, you're exposing yourself in the middle of the field to guys like Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, and Bijan Robinson. They have a lot of weapons on that team. And Kirk Cousins, as bad as he looked last week, we know the guy can put up points. We know he can move the football. And you look at this Falcons defense, they were pretty good last season. Top 8 against the pass.
You're totally diluting the Nick Foles factor, the emotions. Nicky will be back in the house.
See, sometimes that could have a negative effect. But let's look at the red zone too, Mike. Last week, Philadelphia Eagles defense in the first quarter held the Packers to 2 field goals in the red zone. Turned out to be probably the difference in that game. They only allowed the Packers to go 1 for 4. The Falcons didn't allow a touchdown last week. 0% in the red zone were the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I know the Eagles' offense is better than the Steelers, but what I'm saying is there are things on this Falcons team that leads me to believe it's going to be a closer game than you're giving.
The Steelers' offense is terrible.
I don't agree.
Their quarterback stinks. What do you expect the Steelers to do against them?
Oh, the Steelers, yes.
Yes.
But the Falcons' offense, I don't think is terrible.
No, I'm talking about the Steelers' offense. So, like, how do you value Atlanta's defense?
I don't think Atlanta's defense is as good as they played last week, giving up only 133 passing yards to the Steelers. But they did. You know what they averaged last year? 203. They were top 8 pass defense in the NFL last year. And they brought in Justin Simmons to play safety. They're not a bad defense, Mike. They're not.
All right. I'm just not feeling it. Do we have any more text, Eagles text, Ray? What are people saying?
We got somebody quite confident. Elliot in Virginia. Eagles win 37-22. They give up 311 yards, a long touchdown run to Bijan, and they get an interception from Kirk, giving them a short field touchdown. Devontae is 163 yards. Goddard eclipses 80 yards.
How do you get to 22?
How do you get to 163?
Very specific.
22,
yeah, no, I'm saying very
22
specific.
An odd score? Like, how do you get to 22?
21, but you missed the extra point.
You have to
then
be
a
at
safety.
15 to get no.
Oh, 5
Just went
field
for
goals
2.
and a touchdown. 5 field goals and a touchdown.
They went for 2.
Or they go for 2 at some point. I don't know. It's a weird score.
It is.
It might be scoregami right
Did
there.
we give our score predictions yet? No, we'll do that later on in the show.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident tonight. I don't have any way.
I got to be honest.
Normally,
your confidence scares me.
Normally, I would be on your side, but I just don't. I don't feel it.
Somebody wants you to kind of get a little tougher over there.
Who?
Bill.
Bill?
Oh, my God, Bill. Get a blankie if you're so scared.
No one's scared. I have the Eagles winning the game.
Bill's afraid of this game, and he's afraid it's going to be close.
I have the Eagles winning the game.
Text line coming after you.
They just don't cover.
Text line's coming
They
in?
don't cover. Yeah, you're talking to a guy who's 3-0 with my NFL picks this weekend. 3-0, baby.
3-1.
5-1 to start the year with our official picks. 5-1.
Okay. Well, if you're going to brag, should have left the bonus pick out.
I should have left the bonus pick out.
You can get one wrong. We
I
all
can.
get one wrong every once in a while.
Eagles win. They just don't cover. I'm telling you. We'll talk about it.
All right. Let's take a break. We'll roll into the 1 o'clock hour. I need to get the people on board here on what they think is going to happen in this game and go into your crystal ball. Because you got a final score and you got to play the game. You may win a prize. Let's hear from you. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this.
court.
I still think the Eagles are going to win this game by a touchdown or more. I don't really have any worries about it. If you look at the game, you can boil it down to a couple components here. The Eagles last week got gashed with the rush. They gave up 150 yards rushing. Bijan Robinson is no joke for the Falcons. Cousins is a play-action guy, so if they get that running game going, maybe Cousins can hurt them there.
Mike and Bill have been pleading their cases.
Bill, how you feeling about tonight?
I'm feeling good as far as I think the Philadelphia Eagles will pull out the victory. I don't know if it's going to be as easy as some people think it's going to be, but there's a lot of unknowns. I mean, we saw yesterday watching week 2, you just don't know what teams are through the first week of football. And you look at the Atlanta Falcons, who knows what this team is, because that offense looked inept last week, even with all these weapons that they have. And to your point of Kirk Cousins being a play-action quarterback, he has been in the past because he doesn't trust that Achilles to get out from under center to be able to work that play-action game. If that happens again, that is a huge advantage for the Eagles linebacker. We'll see if Cousins can get back to that.
The Mike Missanelli Show Holding Court is brought to you by Grunko Law, your law firm when you need help because of an injury. We treat every case like it's Dallas Week. Pray for peace, prepare for trial. Now back to Mike Missanelli on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Yes, it's the 1 o'clock hour of the Mike Missanelli Show. We got to get down to brass tacks here for tonight's special Monday night game. Always special when it's in Philadelphia Monday night because we're going to get to show off the city a little bit. See, this is why I like the Sixers' new arena, because if when it would be televised, they would be showing off the arena, showing off the new stuff. I like that. It gives me pride in my city.
I was driving around that area on Saturday. I'm like, man, it would be nice to have the arena down here.
Revitalized Market Street area, which used to be like the big stuff in this city.
It would be kind of cool. But I got to ask you something. You got to help me.
Uh-huh.
You just said, let's get down to brass tacks.
Yeah, I don't even know where that comes from.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
I have no idea.
What the hell does that mean?
It's just a saying that's been out in space for years. I have no idea what that means. Somebody will know, though.
I'm looking it up.
Somebody looking it up. I don't know. It's like probably an old school saying. I think it just, through the years has survived.
Yeah, I got to get to the bottom of this.
All right.
Now, is it brass tacks, like tax, T-A-X, or T-A-C-K?
Thumbtacks. Thumbtacks. You remember those?
All right, brass tacks, you're correct. It's T-A-C-K-S. It's an informal term that refers to the most important details or facts about something. But where does it come from? I'm going to research this. Go to the phones.
All right. What are they?
There are several theories.
You're having a nice chat today on YouTube. What are the people? What are you chatting with the people on YouTube with?
So there's a lot of Eagles chatter on the YouTube page, but a lot of people are saying my shirt's too tight.
Yeah.
They just started saying that?
Yeah.
I mean,
you've been wearing tight shirts since I've seen you.
Listen, it's a large. What do you want me to do? It's not like I'm wearing a medium.
Get an XL. That's what you would do.
No, you don't rock the XL. Is it a tight shirt? It's only tight in the arms and the chest, baby.
See, when you say stuff like that, I almost for a second felt bad saying what I said about you. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's baggy everywhere else.
This is why all the girls at Gettysburg used to yelp like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, one more time, the chant. One more time, please.
Billy!
Only my wife.
One more time, the chant.
What was the chant?
Yeah.
Oh, the B-I-L-L-Y. He's our guy. He's our guy. Only freshman year, though, they did that.
I'm just glad they did that, because if you were able to pull that off the top of your head, that means you imagine that happening at some point.
But MBD saying it's spray painted. This is not. Hold on. I'm going to stand up for our YouTube audience here so they can see. This is a baggy shirt.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, sure.
Not bad.
It's not a tight shirt.
You like the stretchy shirts.
The pants are tight. Matt Decker's asking about the pants. That's not my fault, though. I gained a few pounds.
Oh, my.
610-632-0975.
I referred to something a little earlier about the Emmys. I want to see if nobody picked up on it. But here it is. There were only 2 nominees last night for Best Late Night Show. With Saturday Night Live. And what is that show called that John Oliver does? Weekend. week tonight with John Oliver. The last week tonight.
It's a weird name.
Tonight.
It's a terrible name.
Last week tonight with John Oliver. Now, John Oliver, for people who don't know, he's like a British guy, but he came here for a long time, and he was a comedian, and now he does this show where he's pretty acerbic on the show. So he wins last night. And so he comes up, and his whole crew is there with him. And they cut to his wife in the audience, who's this stunning blonde woman. And I'm going, whoa, wait a minute. Well, hold on a second. I got to be honest with you, it caught me off guard. Because he's like, he looks like just a generic, nerdy-looking type of cat, right? Like the nerdy-looking dad type of looking guy, right? And he's got a dime.
Yeah, she's a Iraq war veteran.
Yeah, she's an Iraq war veteran.
Yeah, served as a medic for the U.S. Army. Yeah, she's very attractive. He, not very attractive.
No.
Good accent and good jokes, man. You can accomplish a lot with that.
And you do. Making girls laugh, it helps.
He met her like in some unusual circumstance. I forget how he met her. Well, anyway, he met her somewhere, and he met her at the Republican National Convention in 2008, where she was campaigning with Vets for Freedom,
and he was reporting.
And he
for
was
the Daily
working
Show.
on a story for the Daily Show, which is where he started.
I think you're being too superficial. He's probably got a great personality.
Is that being superficial, or did anybody who watched the Emmys have the same reaction? Because I certainly went, what? Now, maybe is that my problem?
Well, Flyers in 7 on YouTube says he's smart, he's funny, and he's rich. Stop, Mike.
You're really understating with the accent.
You think the
women
accent?
like the accent. I think women like the accent.
He met her when he wasn't rich.
That's what I'm saying. We're underplaying the accent.
The accent? The
He's
British
funny,
accent?
He's got an accent. I think women like the accent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for him. It just threw me off guard. I got to be honest with you. It did. Because I kind of look at that. I like the audience and people who are with their wives and stuff, and I'm going, okay, who looks good? And who belongs with whom? You know, everybody does that. When you go to a mall, you go, that's a mismatch. You know?
I'm going to be honest here.
Or is that just a reflection of a shallow man?
I think I'm playing above the rim. I think people probably look and say, why is she with him? It's because I make her laugh.
So?
It's because I make her laugh.
Make her laugh? Or you know, you're a big football hero at Gettysburg.
Oh yeah, that's definitely it. You played Division III? Wow. That was exactly what she thought.
That's good at phones. Barry in Northeast Philly. What's up, Barry? You're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
What's up, Barry?
Welcome back on the radio. I missed you before, and I met you at a book signing. I met your dog at Barnes & Noble a few years ago.
Yes, Barry. Thank you very much. Yes, a book signing for my children's book, The Adventures of Shima the Shiba.
It's a great book.
And with Christmas coming up, it would be a nice gift for a 5-year-old can read it, or you can read it to your under 5-year-old. But thanks for coming. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I think it's going to Eagles will win. I think it'll be interesting to see Hurts. I think without A.J. Brown, I could see him. He's obviously going to have to look to Dallas Goedert and Dotson as his other receivers to make plays. And I see a 28-20 game. I think it's going to be 21-20, and I think they're going to get a late touchdown to seal the game.
I like it. I mean, that's a cover. That's a convincing win, right?
Yes.
I like it. All right, Barry, I'm going to put you down. You got to play the game?
I think the last touchdown, I think Dotson. I think it's going to be like a 35-yard pass.
Oh, Jihad gets on the books.
Yes.
35-yard pass to Jihad to seal it.
To cover the game, yes.
And 28-20.
Yes.
Gotcha. Thank you, Barry.
All right, Mike.
All right, buddy. Appreciate the call. There you go.
That's a good call by Barry.
Yes, yeah, I take my dog to those dog signings. I mean, book
signings. I got to get that book. I told you I'm going to get it for my daughter who's coming in January.
She's the whole show. You know?
Shiba Inu. What's her name?
Shima.
Shima the Shiba.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense.
There you go.
You don't have a poodle.
No, I don't.
We've corrected that myth.
I do not have a poodle.
We have corrected that myth on our YouTube chat. No poodle in the
Yeah, actually, I had a good day because I went to the winery that I'm part owners of, and I'm sitting there. I got a Cuban cigar, a glass of wine. My dog's there. I'm looking at the vines, just hanging. Now, that's a peaceful day.
That is a peaceful day. I spent the morning at Corporally's Bakery.
That's right, you did.
I missed you, though. That was the first time I did a show in a while without you, man.
Wow, you did miss me? Oh, that's touching, Bill.
I kept saying on the air, thank God Mike's not here.
610-632-0975. More Eagles texts coming up after this. Phillies tonight. Well, got to flip back and forth. Can't miss the Phils, Milwaukee, right? You got to be checking in every now and then. It'll be the Eagles will be the primary view, but the the Phillies start a little earlier, so you can ride them a little bit, and then when you switch over to the Eagles, commercial comes up, boom, check in on the score. Right? Is that the way most of us do it?
Maybe you do it that way. Unfortunately, I'll be at Xfinity tonight till 8:15, so we'll be checking in on the score there. They'll have it on. But then what I'll do is I put it on my small phone because I got the YouTube TV.
Yeah.
So I'll put the Phillies on the small phone, and I'll put the game on the big screen. I actually do that I don't know if that's a violation for you, but I do that even when the NFL's on and the Phillies are on. Like yesterday, I got the Phillies on the small screen.
If you got access to it, do it.
I got Phillies on the small screen, football on the big screen.
I like to flip.
See, I like to flip as well. The problem with all these streaming services now, like Thursday night football, it's hard to flip from Prime.
You can't flip it to regular TV.
Yeah, they make it very difficult.
It is very difficult. Yeah.
You know what else bothers me about Prime as I'm on my soapbox here? A lot of times for Thursday night football, I'm delayed in watching the game. So I will watch the recording and like to catch up live. They don't separate their pregame show from the game when you go back to watch it. So you got to fast forward through like a 2-hour pregame show just to get to kickoff. That frustrates me.
You know, I'm glad you brought the pregame shows up. But later in the week, as we go into the weekend of football, I want to rate the pregame shows. I want to rate the network shows.
Okay. I like that.
With the talent that is assembled for each show.
And we're going to eliminate the Birds Insider Eagles pregame show from contention because we would be number one. We would be at the top.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the network shows.
Yes. Not the Fanatics because we're always...
Live at 6 o'clock tonight. Xfinity Live, FanFest Ticket Raid. You want to get the rest of the promo in there?
There you go.
Andrew Salciunas, Connor Thomas, check-ins from Andrew DeCecco and Tim McManus.
Beautiful.
And we're going to carry the Nick Foles presser.
Carry the Nick Foles presser.
Yeah.
He's doing another presser? We haven't had enough pressers with Nick Foles?
Well, he's retiring tonight.
I understand it, but he's had many of these interviews, hasn't he? All right. Whatever. Let's go. Josh and North.
You've been hating on Nick today.
I'm not hating
people said it earlier in the chat.
Let's make some noise. Come on.
That on the Nick Foles day, you took a shot at him. When you said you didn't think he was that good, you didn't like him.
I didn't. I'm sorry. This is not a popular thing to say, but I thought he was a very mediocre quarterback who just caught lightning in a bottle, and he became a hero. I get it, but I think that he's more pumped up than necessary.
He's just got the craziest story. He also threw 7 touchdowns in a game.
I know.
27 touchdowns. What was it? 2 interceptions in a season.
Yeah.
Super Bowl MVP. I'm with you though. I don't think he was a great starter, but he was an excellent backup.
All right, Josh in Northeast Philly. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Josh.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Mike?
Good, Josh. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing very good. Very excited for tonight.
Are you going?
No, I'm not going. My sister will be out there, but we're just going to hang out at my brother's house and get back to Phillies and Eagles. So I want to ask you, what do you think it would take for an Eagles to come to a win? I know it sounds crazy with no AJ, but we had this problem with Tampa last year. I'm thinking, when is Jalen going to have one of these signature quarterback games that these top-level quarterbacks that get paid this kind of money have? I want to have like a no AJ, no problem type game. We got New Orleans coming up. We got Tampa. What would it take for an Eagles to come to a win, in your opinion?
You raise a really good point. You want to see a signature. You want to see a quarterback take it into his own hands and win a game. I don't know. Who knows when that's going to come with him? It could very well come tonight. I don't know. I just think the Eagles are a better team than this team tonight. So I'm not looking at it like he needs to have a signature game. I'd like to see him have a signature game. I just look at the Eagles as the better team in this game.
Right, and I feel like Kirk Cousins is not back. He can say all he wants. He can't plant back there on his foot, and I just feel like the Eagles have had his number the past few years. And I'm not with the whole crowd that's like 50-50. I think the Eagles can run the ball, convert third downs, and open up some games because if they're gonna get to Kirk Cousins, I can honestly see them winning by 10 points. So,
Yeah. So there you go. So you're feeling good about it. You're feeling a little apprehensive, but you're still feeling good about it. You want to see Jalen have a takeover game.
Yeah, I want to see him like, all right, no AJ, no problem. All right, you guys want to see me? You know, I got to simplify this, hand the ball to Saquon. No, I don't think we need to do that. It's too early to wear him down like that. But I'm looking for an Eagles come through win. I really am. I don't see it being back and forth. So
I got you. All right, he's feeling good, Josh. I get that vibe. I would listen. I love Jalen Hurts when he's at his best, when he's breaking you down with a 20-yard run or something like that. I maybe that's never going to happen again. Like maybe we're not going to see that anymore. Maybe he's got to be a more conventional quarterback, and they're dissuading him from running. He's dissuading himself from running. But I love that dynamic about him.
He ran the ball 13 times last week.
Yeah, he did.
It wasn't as effective when you look at how many yards he picked up, but I'm okay with simply allowing him to run the football, making teams have to game plan for it.
But early in his career, there was a dynamic to that when he ran it.
There was.
And the dynamic it's not the same, but maybe it doesn't have to be the same.
Well, defenses have adjusted to the RPO, especially when he pulls it and runs.
Yep.
It wasn't as effective last year. It wasn't as effective last week. But I don't think that he can't get back to it. And that caller saying, I need Jalen Hurts to have a Jalen Hurts game.
No.
I mean, he had a couple last year. Look,
did.
that Buffalo Bills game.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to have one tonight.
No, and I also think, and I keep saying this, that Falcons defense is not as bad as people are making them out to be.
I don't think they're bad.
They got a good defense.
Yeah.
Look at their numbers from last season, and I think they got even better this year. I don't think...
They got some personnel. There's no question about it. They got some personnel.
And Raheem Morris, the jury's still out on whether he could be a good head coach. His first stint was terrible, but he's a very good defensive-minded coach. There's no denying
I like that Caden Ellis. They play at 3-4, so he's that inside type linebacker. I mean, he gets a lot of pressure on the quarterback. He's a nice player.
They got a lot of nice players. And last season, we'll see if they can duplicate it this year, but last year, top 3 on third down, top 4 in the red zone. So those are big things. If you can get off the field on third down, you can have teams settle for field goals in the red zone. You're going to keep a lot of games close.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think tonight will be a closer game than people think.
All right, let's go Ben in Cherry Hill. What's up, Benny?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good, Ben. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, tonight the Eagles are playing, and I'm thinking they're going to win. Now, I called, 2 Fridays ago, and I said 42-19 against the Packers. I'm thinking I got the week wrong. I think it's this week. They're going to go 42, and I did the math. 19's a little bit weird to get. I think it's going to be 42-20.
Ooh. 42-20.
It's a lot of points, Ben.
I'll tell you what. Give me the Falcons in 20. Give me the Falcons in 20 for a sandwich.
No, I think they're going to get
20.
more points than they did against the Steelers because we don't have a T.J. Watt. That was the biggest thing kind of preventing them from getting a lot of drives, getting going. Because I watch the Steelers as well because my stepdad's a Steelers fan, so I try to keep up to date with them. But I think we have a way better offense than Pittsburgh, first of all, so we're going to put up points on them. And our defense is a little bit I've still got some questions about it, but I think we can hold them off. If Kirk Cousins can't run with the ball, he's just going to be sitting in the pocket. Hopefully, we have a good field. We know it's a good field because we're at home. So we should be able to get some more pressure on him. If we can get pressure to him, he's going to be making some errant throws. It's a Monday night. It's Kirk Cousins. He's going to fail.
I like your analysis. I don't know. That's 42-20 seems like a little bit much to ask for. But what kind of a key play do you have in this game?
I think Dotson's going to go off for a lot this game. I think
John getting some love here.
Yeah. As wide receiver, too, I think he's going to have a lot more opportunities, and I don't think anybody's really game planned for him in that wide receiver 2 spot yet in terms of, teams. So I'm not sure they're ready for him in that spot more so than they are for Smitty in that.
Are you feeling Jahan Dotson awakening tonight?
I don't know. I'm not sure when we say he's going to have a big game. I'm thinking 3 catches, over 30 yards, I'll take it.
All right, the text board has come in. Apparently somebody's after you. Well, we'll see after this. fanatic. 610-622-0975. All right, let's get to this Eagles text. People going after Bill here, Ray?
Yeah, a lot of people don't think he's being...
What's going on? Why are they going after Bill? Because he's being cautious?
Yeah, I don't think they appreciate his cost.
Oh, listen, it's the way he feels. He has a sense that this is going to be a close game. He might be right. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not feeling it.
Mike from Phillipsburg's not appreciating it. How long has Bill been a Falcons fan? Eagles win 34-18. Go Birds. I thought it was Johnny the K that was from Atlanta, not Division III Billy.
Wait, hold on.
Division III Billy.
Saying that the Eagles are going to win, but they're not going to cover a 5.5-point spread makes me a Falcons fan?
Yeah, see, people get provincial when it comes to this. Like, you're not allowed to even suggest that they're going to have a hard time.
It's going to be a close game.
This is what Eagle fans do.
They're going to win a close game.
If you're not 100% with us, you're against us. And you right now are like, you're teetering. Let's face it.
I'm not teetering.
You're a teeterer.
I have been consistent all week that the Eagles will win, but they won't cover. And I said that when it was a 6.5-point spread. I'm going to stick with it at a 5.5.
Are you the type of guy that's going to root now for them not to cover?
No, I want to see the Eagles blow them out.
Is that? I think deep inside you're going to be like rooting for the Falcons to keep this close.
No, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Eagles dominate tonight. I do.
All right.
I don't need to be right. I'm right all the time on this show. I don't need to be right with this.
By the way, Mr. Jersey, I need a call from you, Mr. Jersey, since you're Mr. Jersey, right? So I was in Jersey this weekend. So I pull into a Wawa to get gas. Now, this is a very busy gas thing. It's like in the shore area, right? So there's like a lot of pumps, a lot of cars. In Jersey, they pump your gas. I don't know why, because I kind of like to pump my own gas in PA. But in Jersey, you have no choice, right?
I kind of like to pump my own gas.
All right, so you go in there, and, of course, it takes a while for them to get to you. The kid gets to me, and he starts the pump. I think I went $50 plus or whatever I got. And he starts the pump, and then he goes away because he's got other car. Well, the pump stops.
Before it hit 50?
Like he put the automatic thing on. The thing must have slid out. The pump stops.
Yeah, sometimes there's air. It makes
I
it
look
stop.
out. There's like $4.60 in it.
So did you get out and do it?
So this is why I'm asking you, Mr. Jersey. What's the protocol? Can you get out and restart the pump at a Jersey gas station, or is that a violation? You have to wait for the kid to come back.
Technically, I think it's a violation. I don't think you're supposed to touch the nozzle.
You're not supposed to get out of your car, right?
You're not supposed to. But I would have probably got out and did it because I'm impatient. I'm not going to sit there and wait.
You would have gotten out and restarted the thing.
Yeah, and then I just would have given him a wave. Like, oh, sorry, it popped. Oh, sorry about that.
See, I didn't know what to do. I was paralyzed.
You got to get out.
I didn't know. I thought if I overstep my bounds, if I get out here, I got to wait for the kid. And finally, he came over, and he put it on again, and again it clicked off as he was walking away. But he heard that one, and he came back, and he put the hose in a position where it wouldn't have clicked off.
Yeah, I think you would have been all right getting out and doing it.
Think so?
Yeah.
I
hate that.
Ray, what's your call on that?
You're probably okay to do it. I wouldn't. I'm just sitting there waiting because I feel bad doing it.
You feel bad?
Yeah.
That you're doing something wrong?
Right.
Well, that's the parameters I went through.
I would have sat there.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Anthony's in South Jersey. There you go. Anthony.
Hey, good afternoon. Hope you guys are having a good afternoon.
How are you, buddy?
Good. I just want to say blowout, 100% blowout. I'm going 31-17 because offensively the Falcons do not scare me. Drake London has done nothing since he's came into the league. Darnell Mooney, we're talking about the same Darnell Mooney from the Bears. Kyle Pitts has had one good season his rookie year. He has not scored, I think, more than 5 touchdowns. Bijan scares me. I mean, that's just the inevitable. It's Bijan. But offensively, I don't think, and then Kirk on primetime is just Kirk on primetime. I don't think that the Falcons have enough to sustain with the Eagles. And defensively, the Eagles are going to get going more and more. I mean, Slay, I think people forget about how good Slay really is because he's not called every game. I think we forget that, and that's a good thing. And then defensively, who is the second cornerback for the Falcons? I mean, I don't even know his name.
It's Mike Hughes. and he's not a very good corner. You're right. Mike Hughes, they should be able to exploit him, but now they don't have – it would have been a lot better, though, if A.J. was playing because you'd have Devontae on Mike Hughes. Now it's going to be up to Jahan Dotson or Paris Campbell, whoever else they put in there.
Yeah, and I mean, A.J. Terrell's obviously going to be on Smitty probably majority of the game, but I think Saquon, I've been saying this today a lot to buddies at work, I think Saquon is going to line up in the slot a lot today. I think you can use him as a third wide receiver, not just a running back. I mean, you have that to your disposal now for Kellen Moore. But I mean, I don't see it being close. I can't bring it.
I agree with you. I think this is a double-digit win for the Eagles.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Anthony.
Hey, have a good day, guys.
All right, appreciate it.
Anthony!
There he was.
Never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Anthony. Oh, Manon, he looks terrible. All right. Sirianni, talking about Monday Night Football. Are you in the mood to hear from your favorite head coach?
Sure. Always good to hear from Nick Sirianni.
It is always good to hear from Nick Sirianni. So, oh, my God, tell me that he's not going to go, well, Monday Night Football is just like, when we used to play on Friday night and my brother Jay, and do we have any? Is that coming up?
Gosh, we get to play a home Monday night game in Philadelphia as our first true home game. That's pretty awesome, right?
Oh, my gosh, right?
Monday Night Football. Monday night was the night when I was 13 or younger. The one night I was able to stay up past my bedtime. It was like, hey,
my God.
Dad would be like, hey, okay, you can watch the first half. Get a little bit older, I can watch into the third quarter. Get a little bit older, I can watch into the fourth quarter. Being in high school, I can, and a little bit sometimes in middle school, I can watch the whole game. And that's what an unbelievable experience to have with your dad, to be able to watch Monday Night Football with him. And it's kind of cool that you get to play in front of that, knowing that there's other kids around the country that love this game of football that are going to be able to do that same thing as well. So,
all right, listen, you can laugh all you want. As long as we don't have 10-second runoffs at the end of the half.
God, good Lord.
Going for it when you shouldn't go for it.
There's
so much good.
Hey, he's authentic. It's who he is.
I was 13.
Core
Let me stay up. Come on, man.
Dog mentality.
It's genuine. That's all I ask for. Just be who you are. You don't have to hang out with the guy, but he's genuine. This is who he is. And he's a good game day coach. That's all that matters. Game day decisions. Would you rather him be? We're going to bite their ankles and then have a 10-second runoff at the end of the first half because you can't figure out if you want your offense or your special teams on the damn field?
I love when he recollects.
I know. He's bad. He's very bad at these press conferences.
Home Monday night game in Philadelphia.
Oh, you can't beat that. It doesn't get any better than that. Does it get any better?
Than a Monday night? I guess Friday night.
I would say no.
Let's go to Aaron in West Philly. Aaron, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Aaron.
Man, why y'all hard on my man Nick, man? He's just going through his childhood stuff, man. Come on, man. He like his childhood looking at Monday Night Football, man. I can say something like that. I used to stay up late to watch it. My mom like
yeah,
that.
You're not an NFL head coach, though.
Me too. Me too. My mom would make a little chili dip.
Oh, yeah.
And, hey, Bill, what? You're leaving yourself out. This is the case. Atlanta, who sucked last week, you leave yourself out, and you picked them to lose the first week.
No, I
You
didn't.
picked them to win the second week.
Wait, who are you talking about? The Eagles?
Yeah, he picked them to beat the Packers.
No, I had the Eagles winning against the Packers, and I have the Eagles winning against the Falcons. I just don't know if they cover the 5.5. I think it'll be a close game.
Oh, well, that's going to be a blowout. We ain't even going to worry about that. No, why it's going to be a blowout?
Why is that?
Because Kirk Cousins sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, what's so great about Kirk Cousins?
Nothing.
If he's a statue back there. Now, if they put any kind of blitz on him, he can't get out the way.
Yeah,
So
but will they put a blitz on him? Will they get a rush on the guy, for crying out loud?
Yeah, but the problem is I'm with you. Kirk Cousins is a statue, but last week he got the ball out of his hands. I think it was top 5 in the NFL. He gets the ball out of his hands quickly. So even if they're able to get pressure, you're not going to have enough time to get to him. So that's why it's important that the secondary, the linebackers, take away his first read, and then maybe you got a shot. But he's very good at getting rid of the football. That's the issue.
You're right. I think we have good enough cornerbacks to stop him from the first read. Right? And I'm not worried about picks. like everybody, because he's supposed to have been a superstar.
You're right. He's not a superstar.
He walked into the league. He was going to be the greatest.
You're absolutely right. Everybody was so high on he was going to be Travis Kelce, the whole bit.
He got drafted like 8th overall,
he did, and it hasn't happened for the kid yet. He was kind of lost last year, so I don't think he's going to be a factor tonight. And you're right, Drake London really hasn't emerged.
They're going to beat him by at least.
They got one really good player, Bijan Robinson, who can hurt him.
Right. And go Phils. Go Phillies. We're going to win we're going to win the NL East when we play against the Mets.
The excitement of last night's walk-off win. They did it twice.
This is the most exciting time of the year to be a sports fan. Because you got the Phillies doing their push to the postseason. You got the Eagles in full swing. You have the skate zone in Voorhees jam-packed for a practice.
That? Around the block.
For Matvei Michkov.
To get a look at Michkov.
And you see Michkov had
Flyer fans, they're so needy of something.
We're desperate right now. Man,
really, Flyer fans are needy.
Like it was, I went to a few games this past. I had given up my season tickets. Went to a few games this past season. I said, you know what, the energy's back, and it felt like that. The vibe in the building, it just felt like the Flyers were back. And they have that collapse, missed the playoffs. But this is an exciting time right now. This is the most exciting prospect. You've said it. We've said it before. Since Lindros, man. So it's an exciting time to be a Flyers fan. And then we got the Sixers starting soon.
That's coming. That's coming soon.
You know why all this is going on? Because you decided to come back, man.
Is that me?
You brought the vibes.
As soon as I left, they went to the World Series and the Super Bowl.
They had a pretty good run.
Crying out loud. So I don't know about that.
Well, let's hope we get another run.
All right, so tonight, again, we neglected the Phillies a little bit today for obvious reasons, but they're in a very important spot right now. At Milwaukee, at Milwaukee, at Milwaukee, at New York, at New York, at New York, at New York. 7 road games against decent teams here that could shape how this thing finishes.
Just win one in Milwaukee. That's all you got to do. Win one, but more importantly, let's just hope Rangers got his velocity tonight.
Yeah, well, what's the line on this game?
Let me pull it up. I haven't looked.
Pull up the line on this game. Savali against Ranger Suarez. I'm curious to know.
Wow, it's basically a pick 'em.
It is?
You got the Phillies at -110, the Brewers at -106.
Yeah, I'm looking at a money line of -115 Phillies, -105 Milwaukee. So Ranger getting a little bit of a nod here in this game. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Home game for the Brewers, important series for the Brewers. He has not looked good over the last couple starts.
I don't care if they win tonight. I just want to see Ranger pitch well, man. Because if you can get Ranger back, and then we got to see Nola pitch well. It's just he hasn't looked good over there.
Aaron Savali tonight, who one of the pitchers that Bill would have explored at the trading deadline.
I would have explored anybody at the deadline instead of the 5th option they have every 5 days.
Aaron Savali's numbers at home, 3.30 ERA at home for the Brewers.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Is Reese playing tonight?
I would assume he will play. That's right.
He should. Yeah.
Got the Reese situation.
Yeah, we got Reese Hoskins.
It has been a great year for Reese. What is he hitting, like 220?
And what he sign a 2-year deal there? Or is it a 1-year deal?
He's got some home runs, but I think he's only hitting about 220.
Reese Hoskins is 207 with 24 home runs.
207. Oof.
In his last 7, he's batting 182. In his last 15, he's batting 149. In his last 30 games, he's batting 139.
All right, it's time for closing arguments, and my closing argument today will be about the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, last week, they did not stop the run. The strength of the Falcons is Bijan Robinson, but he didn't light it on fire last week yardage-wise. The Eagles, unfortunately, gave up a lot of yards on the ground to the Green Bay Packers, which came out to 7.1 yards per carry. They've got to do a better job of that tonight. If they stop the run, there is no way the Falcons can win the game tonight. The other issue for me is, will the Falcons blitz Jalen Hurts tonight? Green Bay didn't do a lot of it, but he did handle whatever they did to him. He handled the blitz. So the Falcons have a couple guys who are going to come at you. Matthew Judon, Kaden Ellis from the linebacker spot. So we'll see. That's a big factor for me. Whether Jalen Hurts can be tidy tonight and not turn the ball over. So there you go. That's two things in the Eagles' favor. They got to get their inside line has to stop the rush with Bijan Robinson, and I think they have to hold off on if the Falcons try to blitz and give him a clean pocket, let him move the ball down the field. Of course, the other factor, Kirk Cousins stinks on Monday Night Football. He's 3-10 with 12 interceptions. We'll see if he stays in the shotgun or they go back to play action tonight. But I got the Eagles winning tonight by 2 touchdowns. My closing argument has the Eagles by 2 scores tonight, 2 touchdowns, and I'll ride with that.
And that excellent closing argument by Mike was brought to you by Lowenthal and Abrams Attorney. Injured in an accident? Call 1-800-876-LAWYER or visit LowenthalAbrams.com. And as good as the closing argument was, it was wrong because the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win tonight, but they are not going to cover. I'm going 24-20. It's going to be a relatively close game throughout. 24-20. Eagles extend their winning streak to 2-0. All
right. The non-optimistic Bill, the totally optimistic Mike. We'll sit back and watch 2 good sporting events tonight involving Philadelphia teams. Stay tuned for Tyrone and Ricky. Have a great rest of the day, everybody, and we'll talk to you tomorrow with our Eagles look and our Phillies look. Take care. Bye-bye.